to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by Patrick Price, aka Hakes. We got Chris Parasite in the building, and of course, we got Benjay Nassim, and as well as a special guest today, we got Sam LaRue, world champ Octane, who's going to be joining us on The Flank today after a big win versus Optic, Texas. Sam, let's start with you. Sam, how you doing, kid? Fucking pacing.
No, I'm not pacing, but we won, so we'll take it.
Oh no, well Sam, it was up and down, a pretty crazy series today. I feel like it was a pretty close series, but the last map you guys kicked the fuck up, bro. How does it feel to end on a dub? And then apparently you guys have a bonus match, Sam, coming up.
Yeah, we play London. I think so. Cap just texted me. It's Seattle or Atlanta for the loser, and then Vegas or Boston for the winner for between us and London.
Okay, that's interesting.
Wait, so are you playing on land? Like, what's the deal here?
I don't think it's. I mean, I would assume so, or tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or it's on land. So
yeah, if you guys are playing Wednesday, I mean, that's got to be like somewhat on land. They got to have a setup for you guys to compete in or some shit.
I don't think we've been told like what it actually is going to happen, but that's how it's
I can see you guys playing at Raleigh somewhere. So maybe somewhere on like a side station or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For some land matches, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, but as we get into it, let's go down the line. Pat, how you doing? What are you on a roller coaster, Pat? You got on a roller coaster today?
Yeah, I was on the roller coaster with Vegas today.
No fucking
absolutely
way,
had a blast. Hands were up in the air. Couldn't believe it. Time of my life. First roller coaster that myself and they have been on in about a whole year. So yeah.
Ben, how are you, Ben? You were in here watching the games all day. Great game, great day of games.
All day, every day. Tom, fun day at COD. And I got some news for you. A tweet here on the timeline. We had talked about on our midweek show about we're going to see more Vaznev kills this week. Last week was 24.4% kills were Vaznev kills. This week, 38.2%.
Okay, so it went up. I definitely think the balance is a little bit better for sure. I think the balance. I mean, Sam, you're in here now. You're a pro player. You've been playing the meta every day. Has the balance felt a little bit better? I know Kenny has tweeted out that he actually kind of likes the meta, but what do you think from an AR perspective?
The subs are definitely more prominent than they were before. My team's been pretty much exclusively using 2 just to like get a feel for everything. A lot of the teams like are kind of still using 3 ARs most of the time, just because of like all the practice, and with the M4 they really didn't switch much. But
yeah,
I think like as the game goes on in the next couple of weeks, like the subs are gonna be very, very good for sure.
Yeah, once they start picking their routes and kind of learning how to play the map, they'll get better as time goes on. But before we get into the map, Chris, how are you doing, bro? You've been tuning into TeamSpeak, watching the games all day. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. This weekend was a fun weekend. There was a lot of upsets yesterday and today, and I mean the league's looking as competitive as ever. You can say it was the game, you can say it's the season starting early, but one thing's for sure, we got a lot to look forward to this coming week with Raleigh.
Yeah, we go to Raleigh next weekend. I think all of us are flying in on Tuesday, as well as the players. So everybody's going to be flying into Raleigh. It's going to be a good week. But let's get into the match. We had some good matches today. We kicked things off. We got the Vegas Legion going up against the Minnesota Rokkr. We got an NBC Hardpoint, LS Silo SND, Fortress Control, Hydro Hardpoint, and Fortress Search and Destroy. Vegas, they came out to play today. Chris, we'll start with you. What do you think about the vetoes? Anything at all as we get into the map number 1?
Well, first caught my eye is we got another Embassy Hardpoint out of the Vegas Legion. They actually almost beat FaZe on this map. I think they kind of choked it. Granted, they got slammed in the rest of the series yesterday. Once I saw this map in the rotation, I was like, okay, this is going to dictate the way their series goes. If they manage to clutch this map out, they have a chance. If they manage to lose this again, I think they're going to get put in the mental boom cycle again. But we'll.
The mental boom cycle.
Mental boom.
Yeah, that's like a sorry, my bad. That's like a League of Legends term, bro.
An interesting video thing in this series. So I was very curious when I saw the hotel bans from Vegas. So I looked it up, and they actually are like 0-4, 0-4 on hotels so far in this major. So, but they actually have decent records on all the other maps. So I wonder if that's going to be kind of a strategy for them going forward. Not really playing much hotel, trying to square up with teams on other maps in the pool.
Yeah, Pat, what did you think about this? I know you had some memes welcome the show today with you on the roller coaster, but what were your initial thoughts when you saw that Vegas took the dub today?
Well, Tom, I did have one thought. I snuck in. I'm gonna be honest. I snuck into the Rokkr's after match Zoom call. I did sneak in to kind of see what the comms were like there. And yeah, I mean, they were down bad, Tom. They weren't able to use the SAE trick.
No way, Pat. No way, Pat.
And Vegas just absolutely had their way.
This gimmick's got to go, bro.
The SAE gimmick. I feel bad for the Rokkr guys, bro. They can't let this one down.
Bro, Optic actually has emotes, I think, on
They
their
have
channel
two
for when
emotes.
they do their watch parties.
Two of them.
SAE related
I mean, I
ones.
tip it, bro. We're just leaning in the drama, like, you know.
Yeah, it's for the content. It's
I,
for the
one, can't
memes.
believe Cammy would scam Optic Gaming out of
No
him.
I
way.
can't use the SAE
Scammy.
trick anymore.
Scammy.
Look at
Scammy.
that.
But just to get into the map a little bit, I felt like it was pretty back and forth the whole way through. It was Vegas who got off to a pretty good start. But it was the third set of rotations. We see a lot of third set of rotations now on some of these maps. Because in Vanguard, it never went to a third rotation. Sometimes. But in this game, I don't know, Sam, what is this? Is it just like the size of the maps? It's like a lot of like contest heavy hills. It's always going to a third rotation, or what the hell is it?
It's a combination of that. Just think it's just early, man. We've only had a month or so. So like actually playing these maps and figuring out how to punish teams, like we're getting there. But I think a lot of teams are. It's just very mixy right now on how to. Teams are figuring out how they want to play hardpoint.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
gonna go a lot down to the wire.
This was the play of the game for me. It's Donnie Temp. This was just a big break out of the Vegas Legion. You can see Minnesota. They got the rotations over to this third P2 hardpoint. And it's Donnie who just wins a really big one-on-one to rip Cammy off of that head glitch. Once Cammy's down, they don't have their cover on hill. Vegas is able to kind of just, pounce on a hill and get the trades. And Vegas were able to go big here. I think it was Minnesota Rokkr who were able to get in and contest. But Vegas do a good job hitting the rotation. Ben, I know you've been saying a lot of teams, really got to start focusing on their rotations because it can really bite you in the ass. Vegas in this one, they stayed disciplined and they hit the rotation for the win.
Chris and I have talked a lot about this map, especially the chain from P2 to basically P5. You've got to
Jesus,
try to play ahead of the game, otherwise you're in the absolute blender.
You just chain 250
Bro,
points.
you can chain really hard after P2. Like if a team makes one mistake, they're spawning like so far away from the hill and they just get screwed over. But I mean that was like my main worry with this Vegas team is just they haven't looked good at breaking hills. They were able to break one very important hill right towards the end. But the reason why this was so close was because they honestly started trolling. They had a pretty good start and then they just struggled to break some hills and they ended up clutching out in the end. But I mean, I'm still kind of worried for this team. I think ProLoot notoriously hasn't had the best performances on respawn, which I think is going to be something to look out for. But I mean, at least they got the win today in the respawn.
Yeah, it's good to see TJ doing his thing as well. 33 and 26. I know TJ had a much better day today. And I know Clay was talking about that in the interview. Just to see him kick up right before Raleigh, get that confidence in is always good to see from TJ. He looked like prime TJ today out on the map. So that was
slaying
good to see
across
that.
the board. I mean, like they had been getting outslayed a lot, and I feel like now in this series at least they were able to compete in the slaying category.
Yep, and then we get into the next one. We get into an LS CeeLo, Search and Destroy. And Vegas came out swinging, man. Vegas came out fast in his first few rounds. They ended up going up 3 here. First round comes from a first blood from TJ. Getting aggro. Then we got a 1v1 situation with ProLoot and Cammy. ProLoot does a good job just playing the time and using the time to his advantage. So he's able to clutch that one up. And as we get into the next one, this is where TJ just makes prime TJ Haley plays. I like the aggression here, especially in CeeLo. We see a lot of Vaznet players starting to pop that silence and make some plays. Maybe people are just getting comfortable now. What do you think, Chris, Pat, Ben? What do you think, guys?
That's just the strength. That's just the strength of the Vaznev on this map. There's a lot of lanes on this map that you can't really cut unless you're kind of like sitting in your base or playing like away from the point. So you're just going to see a lot of Vaznev players just popping dead silence and kind of going rogue and playing some timings around this bar area especially. And TJ does a really good job of it. ProLoot does a really good job of it. I mean, this is the game mode that I was talking about. ProLoot, he's going to shine in, and he showed it there.
Yeah, I also feel like ProLoot's a very vocal player as well. So probably in S&D, I'm sure he's calling the plays and helping with the comms. But I know it seems like most of these days everybody's common for the most part. If all 4 players aren't adding to the comms, then you got a problem. But Donnie Temp, he makes the play in a 1v1. He barely gets to that bomb site in time. I think he gets on it around like 7.6 or 7.7 around there. But fantastic plays by Donnie to chase that final player down, win the 1v1. It's back-to-back 1v1s from Vegas. And then it was the 4-3 round. It was Minnesota who started to bring it back. They started to adapt. They started winning some quick rounds and shutting down the Vegas Legion. And then as we get to the 4-3, it was a 2v3 from Vegas here. That was just really good plays. I forget who exactly the 2v3 was, who exactly it was, but we'll take a look at it. But you can see here, bomb down. It's Clayster and TJ Haley who are able to get the bomb down and finesse here. And I just like the plays from Clay here. He ends up staying alive. He backs on in, but he just finds a good timing here. He finds Cammy. and he plays his life. He dips the fuck out of there. Then TJ, he comes in and finds a 2-piece from behind. So good plays, man, from TJ and Clay. Just working together, man, the 2v3. I feel like that was kind of where they just took the momentum. And then, Ben, we get into a last round, and Clayster was able to find an ace with the sniper. 3 kills with the snipe. Finishes it off with the pistol. Good round from Claybank.
Clayster
doing what he does.
Why did you say it like that?
Yeah, I don't know why he said it like that.
This is ace in the middle.
Place.
Look at the angles here from Clay, too. Look at the angles
He
here.
stole my shit, bro. He stole my shit.
Was that your angle,
did that to him
Sam?
in a scrim. You
Yeah,
did
I
to him
did
in a
that to
scrim.
him.
Oh, he loves it.
He fucking DM'd me after the series. He said thanks.
Wait, no way.
Yeah.
That's another thing, too, especially before Raleigh. You know, people, I feel like scrims is one thing, but you learn way more when you play matches and see what people are doing in actual, CDL matches. I feel like teams play a little bit different when it comes to the actual match. So good film, good VOD for people to look at going into Raleigh. And then you can see Clay, after getting 3 snipes on the round, he's got one more player to deal with.
Snipe for sure.
Yeah, he wanted it, but he makes a good heads-up play. They get him tagged up, and with that pistol, Clay, he takes him down. Vegas, they find themselves up 2-0 in the series before going into the Fortress Control. Any final thoughts on the map? Pat, maybe from you. Any final thoughts on the map here?
Just a big map out of Teach. I mean, I think Chris was talking about it. Like we want to see Teach do his thing at Search and Destroy, and if he's leading the category in kills in S&D, that's what you want from this team.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you guys want to go over to Fortress Control. This was a 5 defensive win, and
It was
Who would have thought, bro?
I cannot believe it shaked out like this.
yeah,
Wait,
no,
hold
it
on.
doesn't happen
Wait,
often.
we gotta peep Teej's break, bro. We have to tip Teej's break.
let's
on one of these
let's
rounds.
go back because Sam said that Tej did
It's
some
not the
fucking
break of the
crazy
map.
shit.
I think it's their. I think
It's
maybe their
next break.
first
It's the
offense.
second. It's their first offense. Yeah.
Their first offense, bro. Tej fucking hits the D hop, bro. Shout out to
Let's see the hop coming in from Teej. The dive onto the ledge, jump off the ledge, you go fucking flying. You see TJ on your mini map
This is how he gets
soaring
to be.
across.
It's how he gets to be, bro. He's fucking gone.
Good
Dude.
plays
Look at him.
from
He's gone. Look at him.
TJ.
He's gone.
This guy was making plays, and I think he ended up.
That's so typical to hit that off
I think
break.
Cammy watches it in one of the later rounds. But hold on, while we're on the conversation of this map, and we all fucking hate it. Why wasn't Mercado one of the maps being scrimmed
We played it
prior
for
to
2
like the
days.
map set? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it not play better? Because I could have swore I thought that would have been a map over this one.
Teams were pretty like 50-50 on it because the spawns and like the trapping on the map was like almost as bad as Fortress.
Almost as bad though. I'll
Yeah,
take
it's not-
almost
it's
as
not as
bad
bad.
as
Obviously, it's
like,
not nearly as
like
bad,
I'm just
but-
curious why like this map came into the like rule set and no one like cared about it being in the map set.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would go on board
Weird
with the
situation.
listenings, but even with Vegas, they sounded frustrated because they were just in this trap the whole time. So you can hear them comment. You could go back and watch if you want, but just trying to figure out how to get out of the trap. I mean, I don't really know what the best way is.
Where are you getting, Chris?
If anything, it's about going 4 maybe right, going 4 gate. I don't know. Yesterday I was saying to go through maps, but it seems like people are getting funneled whenever they try to go through maps. They have to go through these little doorways.
Wait, Austin, you gotta grow up, bro.
Austin, can you let everybody
Wait,
know
Austin,
your
I was about
name
to give
is
you.
in
Wait,
TeamSpeak
Austin, I was
right
about to get. Wait, can we look at his TeamSpeak name really fast?
That's
what we're talking
It is me. How's
The
it going,
GA
fellas?
dictator in parentheses who was right.
No,
Bro, no
fucking
one disagreed
way.
That's
with
good
you.
shit. Wait, Austin, I was about to give you your
Who?
props for wanting Mercado controlling.
Oh,
Is that
thanks,
a
I
is that a
appreciate
map
that.
you guys have been trying out, Mercado Control?
No, I
It-
got
it-
outvoted on that one. Well, that
It was at the
before I took
beginning of the
ranks back.
game. It was at the beginning of the game, bro. And then they just
Yeah,
kind of
phase-
like let
Phase
they
one of that
let,
shit bad.
they let Fortress in. I was just so confused. What
Correct.
the fuck is
Listen, we
this?
can make this swap after major one now. It's,
Wait, hold
GA
on,
dictator who
Austin.
was
No
right.
one disagreed with
Now
you.
that I won the map, my
Who
most recent
did?
fortress, like I don't know, I might want to keep it now.
I mean, bro, even skimming through it, every round looks the same. Every time you skim through it, everybody's just trapped in these back statue spawns by P3 over here, and they have a hard time getting out. This right here is where I thought Vegas might have had an opportunity. But again, like, bro, I feel like right here they should all try and get to B. Like just try and get across at least. Like if you get like 1 or 2 initial kills, and instead of ego chowing these guys across map, just see if maybe you guys could fucking, I don't know, team chow. Listen, I don't know. I know it's difficult, but I'm just trying to think of something here to get the fuck out of here.
Bro, they're just terrified of number
they
7
cut to
because he's
maps.
on the truck, and that truck is absurd. Like when a guy's on top of that, it's so hard to kill him off this heady.
You don't think they
That's
could
what they were
jump
scared of.
chow him, maybe kill him? I don't know. I think right
they
there,
could with the
maybe try and
scar.
get
It's
out.
just, it's still just a scary situation. They just probably, it's 18 seconds left. They probably were just shooting themselves, didn't know what to do.
And then
There's also
Vegas.
2 of the trucks.
Yeah,
there's
there's
two.
a
They
lot
gotta
of
check
trucks.
both. They gotta check both. They gotta check both. You can shoot them from under the A point, like through the crack in the
This map's
wheels.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super sick spawn
Listen,
trap.
let's get this map out of here after Major One. Blow it up, bro.
Yeah, we might need to
Play
blow
on
it
now,
up.
man.
Vegas
have to
made it
add
a map.
in
They
Mercado.
almost got in there. Vegas got in here at the end. It was Prolu who was picking up a bunch of kills and made it somewhat exciting towards the final end of this game. And they almost had it, but at the very last second, it was Minnesota Rokkr. The tax come in. There's not really too much Prolu can do. Last guy up is Donnie Temp trying to extend to B, but he ends up falling, I believe. He tried to hit like 20,000 million snakes here. And Afro ends up just fucking taking him down. And Minnesota Rokkr, they end up winning their defense again. So they just stay disciplined on all their defenses. 5 defense round wins in a row. Take a look at the final scoreboard. 22-18 from Don. Only one positive from Vegas on the other side. Good maps from Afro and Bands. They seem to shine in that one. So good plays out of them. Any final thoughts on a map 3 other than to blow it the fuck up?
Nah, move on, bro. Like, don't even ask.
Shoot house control.
Nah, bro, you're
Shoot house
tweaking.
control.
You are tweaking.
This map was lit though. Let's talk about this one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is my favorite map.
Yeah, then we can get into
Afro got
Austin's
red dotted
favorite map.
so hard at the end of the game, dude. He got red dotted so hard at the end.
We'll take a look. We'll go to the end of the map and see what happened. But yeah, we get into a Hydra Hardpoint for the 4th map. It was cool to see Vegas come out and win this one. But we could kind of skim through it and see how it goes. But after the first rotation, Vegas, they found themselves up 20 here. The water routes is just like, how do you keep track of the water routes?
Wait, hold on, real quick. Yeah, you can't keep track of them, but you can keep track of them if a team is playing it. If a team is playing correctly,
You can deduce it. You can
yeah.
Seems
exactly.
like people are picking
And
them
that
up
is
now.
educated.
This is the issue, bro. You noticed it in this series, and you noticed it in the last series of the day. People are getting sniffed out on these routes, and I think people are taking my saying a little too literally when I said if you're not swimming, you're not winning or whatever. And I'll tell you why. Because motherfuckers are skipping steps. If you are gonna take these routes,
bad
you
motherfuckers.
gotta have map control first.
My bad, motherfuckers.
Your first point of contact cannot be in the water. Your first point of contact needs to be pushed up on the map. Let me be getting some scrap time, making them worry about something else besides these routes.
Otherwise,
it's like
you're looking at the water routes, bro.
it's essentially like trying to flank without showing them presence anywhere else. They're just going to sniff you out. They're going to read it every single time. So I don't.
Who's doing it?
I mean, Rokkr was doing it this map.
We'll watch Boston.
Boston
on the
did
last
it.
fucking
Boston
map.
did it in the last map. It's like your first points of contact just can't be in the water. There's just, they're going to sniff you out every
Something I
time.
want to say about this map too is you guys don't understand how different in a match this map plays. It is absurdly different compared to scrims. In
How many
scrims,
times
What's
have
the
we played
biggest
this map,
difference,
Austin? I
do
know
you
we
think?
played it
twice.
once.
I played it versus you guys and I played it versus Boston.
What's the biggest difference, would you say, Austin? The
Bro,
swimming?
people go from swimming like 10% of the time to like 80% of the time. It's like
Okay.
absurd, like ramp up. Like everyone gets so
In
mad and
matches
like
or
I have to
scrims?
swim.
In
No,
matches,
yeah.
I'm guessing people are swimming more. Is
Bro,
what I'm
at one
guessing.
Swimming
point
more,
in this
yes.
map, bro, we were roasting Dylan earlier. You probably screamed past it. Dylan was where number 2 was, swimming got killed, and then was where number 5 was, and swimming the next life.
Yeah, so
Like,
they did a pretty
bro.
good job, honestly, picking up the water routes in this one.
Yeah, to a degree. Last thing I'll say about it is swimming is like trying to like sneak and like if you like were to compare to something, it's like sneaking in blitz. Like it's trying to like cheese your opponent. Where like if you're playing it properly and you're getting the map control first, it's actually a strategy. When people are doing it without any sort of map control, they're trying to cheese. So
Yep.
yeah.
And then we get into the map a little bit. It went very back and forth. There was the second P3 or the second P2 where Minnesota got a big break, but Vegas with a big hold on that P3. They bring it right back, and we're pretty much going back and forth here. This one goes all the way down to a 3rd rotation, and this got pretty crazy here because this is where the routes start coming in. You always want to try and get those P2 spawns going into this P1 hill, but at the same time, Minnesota 15 points away to winning this one. Vegas were somehow able to get in here. It starts with Afro going down here. Diving across. But Pat, let's go with you, Pat. Minnesota, maybe a troll here. Fully rotated to P1. Vegas has to break. And you can kind of see how they were able to do it. Started with Clayster in the middle of the map. Is there anything different you would do here with Minnesota and their setup? I feel like 5 is kind of pushed out by himself. They kind of just went rogue. Where I feel like if they kind of just chill and play some crossfires, it might be better. What do you think, Pat?
I think they absolutely went rogue, and that happens sometimes in the heat of the moment at the last hill. But also the right here it came down. I think Sam, you were just talking about it too.
You got
The
red
red
dotted,
dot.
bro. You got red dotted.
The red dot cheese. Yeah.
Oh, red dot cheese.
Wow, literally, bro. Clay literally just a 2-piece on his teammates, and Afro he's literally looking at a wall when he runs out to the hill. He has no idea.
Spun in a circle.
Yeah, he has no fucking clue where he is.
Yeah, that's the worst,
Play
bro.
with the three-piece.
You know where I noticed that the most? I noticed that the most in ranked play, or not ranked play, CDL Mosh Pit. When I'm playing CDL Mosh Pit, I feel like without red dots, like it's fucking tough, bro. Like it
Also,
sucks
Dill's
sometimes.
water out there was absolutely criminal. I don't know if anyone saw that, but
No, the one that
yeah.
Afro took, it was bad as well. If you're gonna
the water can be a trap, dude.
Yeah,
Afro
that's what
had
I'm saying.
time to go around
Bro,
here. I
watch this.
feel
Clay
like.
gets a fucking crazy three-piece.
he could have just gone to the one in the center, like to his right, and then got like a vantage point on the hill. Instead, he just went
Oh, like
there
the
and
one in
hopped up.
mid-cut?
Yeah, because you can get a vantage point on
Mhm.
hill, and if you can't see them from there, then the people that come through the front door and through the front basically
Bro, look
have
at
like
this.
free
Look at
kills.
this.
Yeah,
Afro
yeah,
just
this
has
was
no
crazy.
clue.
Like, where is
He has
Where
no
is he?
fucking clue. He has no idea.
He just heard shots.
Exposure, bro. Like,
He has no idea.
But
bro,
this is a
and
good
then
4
the-
dead
this
read right
ending is
here.
Comedy with the fucking door.
Great 4 dead read.
And you can see how much it means to the Vegas Legion. Clay looks like he lost 10 years off his life, and Donnie's just laughing.
No. They were having a blast on the roller coaster, Tom.
Yeah, it
Jesus
looks
Christ.
like it because Clay takes the
it up
glasses
for you.
off, he leans back, and then fucking Donnie just starts fucking giggling. But fantastic plays. You can see Pat there on a roller coaster with Donnie and Clay having a fantastic
TJ
time.
Stone Cold as ever.
That's Byron. That's Byron actually.
Oh, that's Byron. I thought that was you back there.
Bro, can
Yeah,
we
that's
teach some
fine.
arms?
Can
we give T some arms?
T's photo is criminal.
Can we give TJ some arms, bro?
I thought like after the first day that he had it, I'm like, okay, this is gonna get fixed. This is temporary. They just kept putting it in for every
Nah,
match.
they
bro.
got to give
Get
TJ some arms, dude. That shit is
What's
fucked.
going on? And his camera's always broken. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
So
camera's
wait,
always fucked.
someone in chat said TJ's camera hasn't been on since OGLA. I started crying earlier.
Wait, it actually hasn't. Like his camera's never up. But let's get into the next one, man. We got Seattle Surge going up against Toronto Ultra. We'll take a look at the vetoes here as I choke the timestamp if I can get this one going. But we got
I've done that plenty of times.
we got Seattle Surge going up. I think the timestamp is wrong, to be honest, because I don't see the vetoes here. But we got Seattle Surge going up against Toronto Ultra. I felt like Surge, they had to come out and make a statement here today, and obviously they did not do that. It was fucking Toronto Ultra who looked clinical again. Ben, we'll start with you. I feel like Standy is
All right,
definitely been a
listen,
standout to
I
talk
gotta
about.
speak on Seattle real quick. It's a classic like Lamar team thing, and I'm not taking shots at Lamar because I know. But like they've got some very clear auto vetoes the way that they've been playing maps the last 2 weeks. So I don't know again if
They
they're gonna
always
watch-
have. Yeah, they always have.
have, which I think like
Doesn't
it's
work.
kind
Never
of an
will
interesting
work.
dynamic this year with the 5 maps in each pool. But just to know, like they're not
it's a
playing
bow cage.
Hydro and they're not playing El Celio, so
LSClo.
El
Celio.
or whatever.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, as we get in, it was the second rotation where things really started to kick up. It was Ultra who were just able to break 2 hills, man. They do a pretty good job breaking onto this P2 and picking up some of this scrap. I'm not really too sure if there was anything AG could have done differently here. He just kind of gets snaked. He's kind of left on a point by himself. It was Mac who's trying to pick up his cross, but they end up falling in Ultra. They do a good job picking up the last 20. And then we get over here to the P3. And this is just a hill that you can't allow Ultra to break, man. Seattle Surge need to lock this one down. And I'm not really sure what happened. I feel like Toronto did a good job pitting Toronto or Seattle Surge into like those P4 spawns, but it was Insight up top, right? Getting that top office control. I feel like top office is everything on this hill. Because you can see people going up the orange stairs on top of anybody trying to climb the ladder or trying to make a sneak play. You can kill them. And if anybody tries jumping and flooding the hill, you can see the hill too. So if you're a main AR, Sam, that's probably something that you focus, no? Top office?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam does
Write
it.
that down, write
So
that down.
good. Everyone should always go up there all the time.
to a degree, you kind of want to try to fight for
Nah,
it early
you can,
on.
You can fuck
I'm
your
not
team
saying the
over
whole
so
team.
hard.
I'm not saying the whole
you can-
team.
You
That's
can
not what
fuck
I'm
your team
saying.
up very hard being up there.
The only thing that the thing you have to do is if you do play up there, you have to be first point of contact on point, because if you die, you just spawn with your teammates bridge. But like if you're baiting your teammates, let's say you go up there and your teammates are hitting the bridge, and they die, well, they're all gonna spawn with you. Spawn out, you're gonna get put in a trap.
If you're
So
not
it's-
spawning on that shot, it's really good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to go up there and kind of just get the guy off the top AC head glitch, which allows your teammates to push across the bridge basically for free.
But I like it for shit like this because you could chain the hill if you stay alive. Like, I don't think the whole team should be going top office, but it's always good when one guy lurks, especially if his team gets there early and can kind of late play it, because then if he gets control of it, he can help hill, and then on top of that, he could stay alive for next. And that's what he did. You can see.
What do you think, Slasher? What do you think about top office on P3?
I don't know. I'm not that good at this map.
Okay.
Well, it worked for Toronto Ultra there as they were able to chain a couple hills towards the very late half of this game. And then as we go into the last hill here, the P5, this is where I think Lamar was able to find a few kills and get them in there. It starts with a big two-piece from Lamar. I think he ends up getting a few more here. So big plays coming out of Marmar. I'm not sure what happened with the colors. I do apologize for that.
No, they were trolling with the colors.
They fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it after this map, but yeah, it was Lamar who in AG who just go massive on the second P5 hill, and that gets Seattle Surge back into the game. We end up going to a third P2, and this is where Dante somehow, some way finds a big two-piece right here to keep it alive. Because if Dante dies here, this map is probably over. You can see Insight. He comes up. He's trying to snake his way through. Mac, he goes down, and it's Sib all by himself, picking up a big two-piece on Old, and with 25 seconds left to go, Ultra probably could have won that there. But good plays coming out of Dante. Big two-piece. You can already see Seattle. They're picking up the crosses mid-map, making sure nobody can get across, trying to help Dante, and eventually it becomes mathematically impossible. Matt gets a big kill here onto Scrap, because Scrap might have been able to get that time. But good job from Seattle Surge, man. They made this mixy. Started with Lamar finding those pieces in P5, and Dante going big. Just some big gunfight wins, big individual gunfights. Go ahead, Pat.
I think I agree with you. Without that two-piece, they lose that game. And I mean, for Civ to be like 15-30 and then come up with that game-winning two-piece at the end, that was huge.
Yeah, he was having a rough map here, but Seattle Surge were able to make the comeback. We'll take a look at the final scoreboard. Lamar had a great map, 30-24, 32-24 from AG, 30-28 from Mac. Only one really struggling was Dante, but he went massive at the end of that one. Any final thoughts on the map, Ben? Any final thoughts on the map number one? Anything you want to say at all?
No, I mean, these days with how Seattle plays Search, like map one sort of a must win for them. Other than that, it was a pretty exciting one on Embassy.
Yeah, we get into the next one. We get into a Fortress S&D. We finally saw a B plant today. We'll get to that later once, it was Scump who was finally able to get that B bomb down. But this one was pretty straightforward. It was Toronto Ultra who just steamrolled fucking Seattle Surge. They won 4 rounds so fast. Scrappy was hitting some really nice shots here with the snipe. Sam, I saw you doing the same thing, like working this angle, trying to get some picks. So people definitely got to be careful for that angle right there. You can see Scrap. He fucking takes Mac's fucking head off clean. Good snipes come out of him. And this is what I was talking about. Like, I feel like there's always one guy just watching cross. Now, granted, I don't play the game, and I know B is probably a death trap off the rip. But I feel like for late situations, we have Sam and Slasher in here right now. I mean, what do you guys say? You think late situations teams are going to start working B more? There's never anybody over there, guys. Like, watch it from a Codcaster POV.
I think the map will probably evolve into that. But for now, it's kind of just like, I'm alive at a 1v2 and I need to plant the bomb.
Yeah.
It evolves into getting out of the map set.
That is
also a possibility for
We just gotta
sure.
wait a week. Maybe it'll be good.
Oh, we getting new maps, man? Is that?
I'm just saying.
What you're saying?
I hope so.
Hold up, is that a leak?
No, we're not getting new maps until season 2, and I think season. Actually, no, wait, hold on. There might be season. No, actually, yeah, it'll be season 2.
When is season 2?
It's just gonna happen, bro. After Major 1, Slasher gets his inauguration as like official GA commissioner, and then
No way, bro.
Can we have a ceremony at the event?
What S&D are we replacing this with? If that gets replaced out of the current map set. Well, yeah, if that gets in. So hold on. F1, let's say F1's in. We get F1 S&D, replace that. Control, what do we do? Mercado?
I feel like I haven't seen Mercado Control, but if Austin wanted it in, then
I don't want to give Austin his props.
It must have been
smiling.
It must have been godlike. No, Austin, it must have been fucking godlike.
This is my reasoning for it. Mercado had some bad spawn traps too, but I feel like the Fortress one is literally unavoidable. You are getting smoked on offenses. Whereas Mercado, like, you can kind of get out of it, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still bad, but
I mean, I haven't seen the map play out, but maybe it's something that can be thought about.
The bigger thing is this: you guys have weeks to try new maps, score them out, see how they go, and then if the league's down now, you guys make a decision. You know what I mean? Instead of the problem we had now, which is you guys had to immediately start practicing for Major 1. So
Chad just told me Castle comes out in season 2. Castle,
Castle was so good. We played that in Vanguard. Oh no, we didn't, because it was
played it for like a month.
Tried to GA the top 3.
GA the top roof. Bro.
GA the top roof.
Yeah, bro.
It was fucking horrible, bro.
No, to be fair, Castle and World at War was solid, bro. But that was before they made it so you could shoot through the fucking everything and blow up the cover and all that. It was
I'm
actually
not gonna
solid back
lie.
in the day.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we need Terminal in the map six. Terminal would play good in search, but also Terminal control. Like if it's like the same as if it's kind of the same as like the demolition area. Like you remember the demolition bombs, Pat? If it's kind of the same as like those places, it might be decent for control.
This
Like
is a good round
the
here,
point,
too.
if the points of the demolition bombs.
JP just made a good point. We
I don't know
literally have
what-
high rise on the Warzone map. Bro, high rise search.
Yeah, we have everything on the
I would like to
Warzone
see a
map.
high
It don't
rise.
matter.
I feel like high rise would be
great, I
cool.
think.
Yeah, I feel like
it's
there's no
already better than some
jetpacks.
maps. Yeah.
We played in AW. It was a little questionable with jetpacks, but I feel like with no jetpacks, it would play out pretty well. So hopefully we get some new maps. But to go into
It's
how
literally
Ultra
in the game right now, so you know, like that's all. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
so is Terminal, so is Afghan. Like, bro, they're all on the map. Every fucking map is in Warzone.
just get back into the map a little bit. I just like what Ultra did here. They got their streaks just because they got off to a hot start, and they called in their streak off the rip just to get control of that A bomb site, and it kind of pushed Seattle off. And Toronto Ultra was able to get that map control and finish out the search and destroy. They're able to tie up the series at 1. We'll take a look at Scrappy, 10-5. Good to see Scrappy going off. I know, Ben, that's like the rookie of the year. That's who everybody's looking at in terms of Young Gun. And then I guess Vickles, the other guy, who's also been playing really well. Vickles looked like one of Florida's best players.
I thought it might be, a scrappy kind of insta-lock for Rookie of the Year, but I think Vickles showing a little bit of Cristiano Ronaldo suey going on, and maybe it's not such a good
You just refer to Vickle as Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, if you not heard his gimmick, bro.
No, I know his gimmick, but you referred to him as Cristiano
I said a
Ronaldo.
little, Pat. You just didn't hear all of the words I said. You just fucking.
shit.
No.
Period, Ben. Queen, get his ass.
Yeah, I got you, Ben. Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
there
not
we
another
go.
fucking meme,
Let's see
bro.
what meme Pat brings up now, bro.
Bro, what the fuck is that,
here we
bro?
go.
What even is that? Where do you get this stupid shit from? Where do you get
Wait,
these
you never
memes
seen
from?
that? You never seen that?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen that meme
Wait,
before.
Tom, well, hold on. We're not to off kind of topics for a second. We got to figure out how to have Pat bring up memes on the screen at the watch party. I'm gonna need to figure that
Yeah,
out.
we'll figure it out. That's where I
Yeah.
call Bepsy and we see what's going on. Bepsy's
Yeah.
going to be helping us out in Raleigh. He's going to be setting everything up. But let's get into the control a little bit. Get into a hotel control. This was another 5 defense win. Nobody can capitalize on the offense. Nobody.
I gotta go open the door, Tom. I'm sorry.
No,
but
you're good, Chris.
it's
Go do
just
what you gotta
important.
do, bro.
All right,
You're
I'll
chilling.
be right back. 2 seconds.
And again, it's just this bedroom control. On the defense, teams, they constantly go around the left. And I know why they're doing it. They go around the left. They try and slow play these kids in the back. And then they play for those guys' bedroom. But, I also feel like it might be a good play to wrap back and just try and sniff them out. Check your corners. Try and get these guys out of here. Maybe somebody takes a long route. But if these guys are just lingering bedroom, it's pretty difficult to win the round here. So this is another map that I feel like we see more offensive wins on this map. But in the first 2 series, we didn't see any offensive wins from any team. And Ultra, they do a good job just holding on strong in the control. I don't want to spend too much time over here just because it's pretty self-explanatory. But Pat, any thoughts on the control? The hotel control with Seattle going up against Toronto. Toronto did a good job. It was Insight who was living in bottom hall.
Insight was just frying. Yeah, he just played his life so well the whole map. But I mean, dude, the problem I have with Seattle, Tom, is as soon as they go down 2-1 in like any series, I feel like it's over. I have zero faith in them to win an S&D. Like legit zero faith. So like even if they were to win this game 4 hardpoint, which they obviously didn't, I didn't think they were gonna have a chance in a game 5 S&D. So I mean, I think they just need to hit the S&D, complete regain, change everything they do because they're just a poor S&D team.
Yeah, we can see that the scoreboard: Scrappy 39-29, Standy 31-28, Insight that was 31-16. He was fucking piecing. He was just staying alive, fucking low all the whole round. Some people were like, Ben, I think it was you. It was like, you weren't too sure if it was a good play, if he was being useless. But personally, I think him just being alive there and just stopping them from getting on a point is a good play. They're always worried for him. They couldn't find him.
Seattle never tried to push them out together. Like that was my annoyance watching Seattle play this map. Is I didn't feel like there's a lot of cohesion in what they want to do collectively, and they're just trying to make solo plays, and maybe they get 3 of them in a row, and they just kind of stack points.
Was that another 39, by the way? Can that record just not get broken?
Someone will get 40 at the event, bro. It's just bound to happen.
There's not 140 yet?
It's
No.
like 439.
Nobody's gotten a 40 yet.
4 different players got 39. You're not there yet, Austin, but
I know.
maybe at the
Thanks,
event.
man. I
Maybe one day. That's fucked up, Pat. What the fuck, bro?
Not the
bad,
scars
my
in
bad,
now.
Austin.
He's good. He's back.
And then as we get into the next hard point, we get another hotel hard point. As we go into the final hill, we go into a second set of rotations. We got to listen in from the Ultra. They actually started running away with this one. Seattle started making a good comeback, but let's tune into Ultra and see how they were coming. They were moving good.
connector, guys.
He's dump pillars,
Pillars, absolute pillars, sir.
I see you working side.
What's it? Oh, nice. Those
Stay left,
pillars,
go back.
Alright, there's two on the
Go
left.
P5 with me, Jimmy, okay?
He's on the
Let's
P5
triple
heady.
B5. Let's triple B5. I'll dive out and sign out.
Nice.
Hey,
Shit, stay left, go.
Last
Let's
go,
go,
last
Ready, Jimmy?
I'm heading off.
No pillars, scrap.
Jesus.
No pillars.
No pillars, our side connector, our side connector.
Our side connector, I don't see him. It's on
Come, let's go connect to one of the week.
I have you.
And double pillars. Connector dead. No one shot connector. Dump pillars.
Don't see him.
Standing dump pillars. Standing dump pillars.
Nice.
Keep finessing, Toby. Literally clear your life.
They have to run me. Dead.
Two pillars, one lamps, one pillars.
I'm
Go
waiting.
lamps,
Lamps
go
and pillars.
Lamps, I can't wallbang him.
I'm in the lobby.
Left side in the corner.
Double pillars, one lamps. Lamps dead. Nice double pillars.
Karim,
I have D1, D2. I'm playing D1, D2.
I don't see lamps. I don't see
Soak
lamps.
this time. Just soak this fucking time.
He's double pillars going engine. Sip. Engine.
One cat now, dead.
Try and go deep, maybe. I spawn P5, bro. They're
Just
gonna
let me
spawn
D1,
in.
There's one new. Go help him scrap, right?
I'm just holding D1, D2.
Soak that.
One guy's tops on
I
me.
got it.
One guy's tops for sure.
That's gonna do it for the listening for the Toronto Ultra. Sounds like that maybe they're catching some rhythm here. Let's see how the Seattle Surge boys sound.
Fucking I'm solving Dior. I'm gonna right. Can they cross out? March to the cross to the right. Our inside stun. Can you guys get my blue and left. Blue and pond. Blue got me. I'm wrapping pond. Blue and right. We're picturing. Give me 2 seconds. Find the stairs dead. That's one shot. Four dead. Four. I'm getting out. Yeah, we can chain the stairs. I'm going mid alley. They're gonna spawn couches now. I'm pushing. Yeah, they spawn on you. They spawn on you or in the back. I don't see him back here. Back pond. They spawned there, huh? Yeah, there's two at all. Yeah, they're on the road.
Alright, nothing here. You should push out.
I got one pond. I'm holding bread, Dante.
Alright, I'm
pushing on the right. One more on the right. That's dead. Nice. I hold him. I have all the mid. They can't go mid.
Half time.
They can't go pond. They can go middle left. Being careful. Alright, God Heady Standy. Okay, it's the first guy. One's on ult. I'm not playing the back. I'm playing the back. I'm sitting in the corner here. I go spawn mid map.
Yeah, I'm playing.
Lamar got a mid-map spawned. I don't know if he was frustrated with that mid-map spawn or mind-blown for the mid-map spawn, but the way he said that sounded kind of funny.
Pretty funny.
But Seattle Surge, a couple big holds here on the P3 and P4, and they were able to bring this one back. But it was Standy who just goes absolutely massive on this last P5. You see Seattle, they're trying to make this a game. They got an absolute setup. It's Dante in the back. Lamar's got his crossfire. But it was Standy who was able to somehow get into this point and make a fucking play here. And you can see how he was able to do it. You see him on the mini map number 4. He's able to get out of bedroom. He finds one, and he just gets pushed up here. And I like the movement here. He's on a column. He ends up finessing himself onto this box, contests the point, and waits for his teammates. And Standy just makes a great heads-up play. Good play from Standy to close out the series. Ben, Pat, Chris, any final thoughts on this one? Toronto Ultra able to close it out.
The best team in the game.
You think so? You think so, Pat? You think they're the best?
Best team in the game.
Seattle had a chance here to break it at the end, but and he almost had it. I mean, they were winning some ones, but it was Ultra who was able to get in here. This got mixy towards the end, man. This got fucking crazy. But Pat thinks Toronto Ultra's the best team in the game. Chris, what do you think?
I think they're pretty up there. I mean, there's some clear standouts that I feel like are in contention for the best team, or at least right now, be in contention to winning the major. And Ultra is definitely one of them. For me, it's got to be just Scrappy and Standy, the two youngins. I know Standy's already been in the league for a bit, but Scrappy, he's absurd. And then Standy's really coming to his own ever since the SMG or the Vaznev meta, started becoming a thing.
You sure you feel so strong about Scrappy? Ben thinks Vickles Rookie of the Year.
Bro, when did Ben say that?
Close to what I said.
Bro, Pat's just starting shit, bro.
Pat loves gaslighting.
No way, bro.
Pat's just starting shit.
That's what I love gaslighting, dude.
I heard Ben say that Vickles got some Cristiano Ronaldo in him, and he's coming for Rookie of the Year.
Toronto Ultra are able to take the series 3-1. Every series is 3-1 today, to be fair, which is kind of interesting. But we're going to the next one. Good job out of Ultra. They get a big win heading into Raleigh, so I'm sure they're feeling confident. But now we get into the one everybody's been waiting for. We got Optic, Texas, going up against the Los Angeles Thieves. We got a Hotel, Hardpoint, Fortress S&D, Hotel Control, Embassy, Hardpoint, and Hotel Search and Destroy. Chris, we'll start. Go ahead, Pat or Ben. We'll start with you or Pat.
Before we get into this, I wanna pay tribute to our new king, Tom.
No fucking way.
What is wrong with
Who
that?
the hell is that, Pat?
That's on boy.
Bro, what the hell is that, bro? Yo, Pat, you disrespectful, Pat.
Wait, Pat, do you do these yourself or do you have a guy?
No, he has a guy who does.
He has a
these.
guy.
Pretty
Okay.
It's gotta be the CD. It's gotta be the CDL pal guy. It's gotta be CDL
anything
pal.
under the sun. Bro.
Not
That's
the
gotta be
king,
Pat.
bro. You can't put the king in a meme, bro. What's wrong with you, Pat? You're crazy.
In his final year, that's fucked.
Yeah, come
My
on,
bad,
bro.
my bad.
Bro,
He's been fine. He's
I
been
mean,
fine,
speaking of the
but-
king, I mean, yeah, he's been their best player.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? At least in my eyes, I feel like Scump has been fucking piecing. But let's get into the map a little bit. Ben, what do you think about the vetoes? We'll start with you as we get into the map number one.
Immediately, we'll talk about it when we get to map 4. But I saw these vetoes and I saw the embassy hard point, and I was like, having PTSD from the series against London because they and what was I thought was a really critical map for them to win. 3-1. I know they took care of that in game 5. They didn't look particularly good in that hard point. I think in general, hard point may actually legitimately be Optic's weakest motor right now. So saw those vetoes, thought it was an interesting set. The triple hotel for me, I thought favored the boys on Thieves, and obviously they were able to get it done in 4.
You agree with that, Chris? Pat? You guys agree with Ben?
Yeah, I think Thieves are just, you know, they're the better team, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think Optic probably should have won this series.
No way, Sam.
I think there was besides the embassy hard point, I think Optic threw. And I mean, you'll see how they managed to throw in the segments. But yo, Scump, honestly, you got to tip it, bro. This guy. I said it yesterday. He is their best player. Like not from just like, you know, statistical standpoint. I think he's just playing the best, and he's been playing the best guy out of the entire team.
You might see some weird tears in the screen. You might see some black screens. The CDL was dealing with some production issues today, so hopefully when we get to Raleigh, we don't have to deal with any of that stuff. But I thought Shotzi was great this series. I thought Shotzi was a nuisance. Obviously, they didn't win the series, but early on, I felt like Shotzi was the playmaker for them. Just a constant nuisance, just all over the map. He's hard to keep track of. This tearing is gonna fucking drive me fucking nuts. It was LA Thieves who was able to keep it close. It was a pretty back and forth map.
What was happening?
Yeah, no, it was really bad during your series,
bad.
Sam. Like it was hard to watch.
Christ.
But LA Thieves, they get it to a fat hold here, and it was Optic in a second P2 where they start to bring it back a little bit. They end up getting the final scrap here on the P1. And Sam, what happened here, man? You guys got broken here. Maybe from your eyes, where do you think it all went wrong?
I tried to. Well, I think this one Ender streaks me, right?
Yeah, the streak comes down. They get a team kill as well. A team kill comes in, but they just kind of overwhelmed the left side.
Limp body, dude.
Yeah, no, it was actually a really good break.
He streaked the wall like next to the stairs from White,
broken?
and it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Austin noting it down. But good streak. I think that was like a really big break for Optic and Ender. He was going big here. And then as we get to the second P3, it was Dashy who makes the initial play. He gets here early. It was Envoy who finds 2, but Dashy disrupts the push.
Saying there was like a weird spawn here somewhere. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if that happened or not, but
let's take a look. You guys all spawned bedroom, so everything looks pretty okay so far.
No, we spawned. I think we spawned fucking bed.
Like under. I don't know if you maybe low bed, top bed. I'm not sure exactly. But somewhere in that area.
I don't know if there was a weird spawn or not. That's my teammates or something.
But it was a really good break.
Yeah,
Bruce just made an absolute play. He was able to find 2, and he's able to get Optic in there. That's where Optic's able to just get a lead here, and you can see the rotation is in. And this is where Scump just makes a play. You can see Scump, he's roaming around the back.
Is this where I can't reload cancel?
Yeah, you can't. You got stuck with your reload. And Scump,
look at me go. Look at me go.
And then I also think somebody got by you, Sam, and you didn't realize.
So many people complained about being able to reload cancel in COD.
I don't understand, bro.
Everybody was complaining about it.
It happened to us too.
Isn't that such a cool feature, chat? Everyone loves not being able to reload cancel.
Dude.
And right here, Sam, Shotzi got by you right here, Sam. He got by. I don't think you know.
He was there.
Oh, you knew he was there? Okay.
Yeah, I called him out.
Sam, a lot of unfortunate stuff happened in this map, like when you got stunned on the stairs and you accidentally naded yourself.
I naded myself on the stairs after I got stunned on the last P3.
Yeah.
I was going through it, bro.
That's tragic, bro.
Yeah, no, but another good break from Optic. A hold that LA Thieves is probably going to look back on and see if they can see what happened. But Optic,
are you next time?
Are you guys going to look back on that one?
Yeah, I just want to reload next time.
Sam, not gonna reload. Good strategy. Write that one down, Sam. Write it down.
And don't be fucking -10 and we might win the map.
Yeah, the respawns go better when you're not getting peed on.
Yeah, shout out to me.
Take a look at the final scoreboard. Scump 24-18, Illy 26-18. Good to see Ender popping off as well. Good maps out of them. And then on the LA Thieves side, everybody negative except for Envoy. So a rough map 1 for the Thieves. But it was all LA Thieves. The next 3 maps. Any final thoughts, Chris, Ben, Pat, out of map number 1 or just overall on the series as we get into the S&D, which ended up being a fortress?
I think my only thoughts, again, just to expound on the Optic hardpoint stuff, is I just feel like their hardpoint game's not super efficient right now and needs a lot of work. They outside Thieves heavy, and I thought Thieves fundamentals kind of kept them in it, but we'll talk about that more when we get to map 4.
Yeah, we'll get into the map 2. This was actually a big round from Bruce. He plays a little off angle here. Did you guys not call him out, Sam?
I wasn't over here. I don't fucking know.
So right here,
You guys definitely did not.
No, I think what from the conversation that happened was Zach died and then didn't call him out properly, and then I think Ken was just a free kill for him. Is like,
yeah, because you
from
can
what
see
I remember.
Jiraza goes down because Bruce
Zach
is
said
looking
like he
under.
didn't, or Ken was bitching at Zach that he didn't like actually call him out as well as he should have.
Yeah, and then Kenny goes
Ken just died.
Yep, it's just a free 2-piece coming in from Dashy, just working the angles. So it was a pretty clinical round coming out of them. Then we get into the 3-2 round. I actually really like the play call here from Optic. I like these rush A plants.
They run at me.
Yeah, this is when they just hit you with tack, Sam. They back you up and get the bomb down right away. I would like to see this more coming out from some
it was
teams.
actually the time of this round was fucking comedy because they weren't really doing anything on their offenses up until this point. So I was like, yo, just don't give you guys a free kill. They're literally not fucking moving.
Yeah.
And then they just like 4 hit the bomb. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, they changed it up. They adapted a little bit, and Sam was like, holy shit, they're all here.
Yeah, it was not ideal.
And it was a good round from Shotzi. He gets the bomb down right away. He gets the first blood, and you can see the time is just in favor of Optic Texas. Sam has a sniper pistol. Not really much they could do here. Dashy finds another big kill into Kenny. Scump with a kill on a pinch, and Optic are able to tie it up at 3. Then we get into the next round. LA Thieves, they're able to get an 8 plant down, but it doesn't last very long. Optic, they work a pretty good retake here. They get a big nade here with a Semtex. I think it was you, Sam, again, getting pounced with tack. Sam, why is it always you, bro?
I don't know, bro. I'm just getting shoulders out. I don't know. Fucking cringe.
Yeah, no, good tack
Somebody
usage.
help me. Holy fuck.
It is really good tack usage from Optic Texas.
Wait, I'm pretty sure Ender hit like 2 ridiculous snipes this map.
He did. He was hitting some wild snipes, bro, through the
like a
wall
wall
and
bang.
shit. Yeah, that's in the next round, actually. So Optic, they're able to take the retake, and then we go into the offensive round for Optic, and this is where Ender was able to get that wall bang snipe. I could maybe try and see where the hell that happened. I think it was right here. Ender was hitting some nice shots, man. He was going rogue, too. He was just letting these bullets fucking sing. Good shots coming out of Ender as he's able to snipe Envoy through the wall. Shotzi with one there. Optic, they end up finding themselves. He was just shooting, Sam, like just fucking letting them sing, just trying to connect with one.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck.
And then Optic, they throw it away. They go up 5-3, and I guess maybe the 5-3 curse comes in. But check this out from Scump on this round. This is the first time we've seen somebody go to the B bomb site. I actually thought Scump had a great idea here. I just think once he was seen here, he probably should have backed up. He tried to keep pushing and chow. But I would like to see Seth just play a corner here and just sound whore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
play
91st round, by the way. 90 rounds went by before B plant.
90 rounds went by on this map before we saw a plant onto the B bomb site. So 90 to 1.
All things should be, right, Slasher?
Bro, although we're asking for a lot, like the guys in a clutch situation, I think definitely he could have probably slowed it down. You got to think with the amount of B plants that go down on this map, aka none. A lot of people are probably not used to retaking this site, let alone in a situation like
in
this.
S&D scrims, B gets planted.
Yeah, Dylan was telling me that too.
B
That like they've been working B in practice too. Which just watching it back through Caster and just seeing how many times the B bomb site's just wide open and they could just cross and just hit B. I'm surprised we haven't seen more people going towards B.
Yeah, so most of the time it's just in the clutch or like late rounds.
Yeah, and then we go to a round 11. It's LA Thieves who had the offense, and I like the aggression here from you guys, Sam. I don't know if this was like a situational call.
This was literally Ken telling all 4 of us what to do.
Okay, so Kenny just took over in the comms.
He literally was like 3-2-1ing, like, chow, go here, look at this, and just fucking won the round.
Ender ends up getting a hit marker to start the round. Sam opens it up with a first blood, and you can see the Thieves.
This is a 5-5 hit marker, Tom.
Yeah, 5-5 hit marker from Illy. You never want to see that if you're sniping, but LA Thieves, they do a good job. They get the first blood from Sam, top art. And LA Thieves use that first blood to use their numbers and get aggressive, and bada bing, bada boom, all smiles.
The streaks are hilarious.
I don't know Sam, what are you doing there? You shooting an arrow or something, Sam? What are you shooting, an arrow?
What do you mean I'm not shooting an arrow?
I don't know. Let me take a look here at the celebration here. It looked like you were shooting an arrow.
Oh, no, I lost composure because fucking Ender we were talking about the play, and Ken was like, I bet you Ender's going to snipe open steps. I fucking guarantee it. Go top solo. I was like, okay. And Ken was like, was he there? And I was like, yeah, he's fucking pre-game with that shit.
He was locked in trying to get some snipes.
Yeah, I said he was just waiting for someone to show up.
But it was a good map from the LA Thieves. You guys, you guys stayed focused. You didn't let the round count get to you, and you took it one round at a time. So the Los Angeles Thieves were able to tie the series up at 1 envoy, 10-6, only 1 positive.
God, my
for the
prince,
loss.
dude. Holy
That's your
shit.
prince right there. That's the prince. Any final thoughts on the map number 2? Ben, Pat, Chris, any final thoughts at all before we hop into the control?
I mean,
We'll
Optic's
come
just
back.
going to be beating themselves up after getting came back on like that. I mean, there's a potential, them being up 2-0 in the series, and this might go, the other way.
Yeah, as we get into the hotel control, this one was exciting, man. This one was crazy. It starts with Shotzi, man. This guy on his map was all over the place. To start things off, LA Thieves ended up, the second half of the map, ended up running away with this one. But just look at the plays from Ant, man. He gets aggressive, finds a big 2-piece here. And then I think it was LA Thieves who get onto this point. But somehow, some way, Shotzi was just roaming the map and they couldn't kill me. Drains all the lives out. What was the round? And then we got to find a round where Shotzi jumps onto the point with a fucking knife. That shit was fucking crazy.
Oh,
but
when he ran at me for his 3-piece?
yeah, no, that was
Yo, I
fucking
lost full.
insane, bro.
Nah, I
Like,
lost composure.
Yeah,
there were two times on our offense where I was like on B, just laying
was
down.
right
But he
here.
was like, "We got your mid. We got this guy." Both times just ran at me. I was like, "Fuck! No one has anything."
yeah, I don't even know how the hell that they were even able to
it's literally
stop
right
you
here.
guys.
I'm like, guys, please, they're dating me. I need someone look my mid, please.
Yeah, just to show you guys who didn't see the match. I mean, this was fucking insane. Watch this from Ant. He gets 1 on point, gets 2. They're about to cap it. They have literally, like, Sam, you guys literally barely capped it. Like, you guys had that shit. Shotzi
scared.
jumps onto the point with a knife. You can see him on your screen right there, ready to slice somebody up. And he's able to get 1 before he falls. That's a 3-piece from him to save the round. So really good plays. On top of him, just closing out the round with a big 2-piece and pushing out the spawn. So good plays coming out of Shotzi in the round number 1. They're able to win the first offense. So good job from them. And then as we move on, it was LA Thieves who were able to win the defense. They almost had this Optic. They work over towards this B side of the map. They do a pretty good job getting on this point. Draws is just having to stay alive, but it's Kenny, right? The number 2 staying alive here. He ends up getting pooped on, I think. I think he got no aim assist right there.
Yeah, my bad.
I think he got no aim assist. I feel like with these rails and all these boxes and shit, you kind of get fucked here if somebody's snaking that shit. But I could be wrong. Did he get no aim assist right there? Or did he maybe just fucking got pooped on? I don't know. Sometimes it happens. But Shotzi, he's able to find 2 somehow getting onto this point. And Optic, they do a really good job getting the beat point. But LA Thieves do the Atlanta phase bend. They push out fucking Kitchen, and they can't get him out of there. They just
We don't need that shit. We don't need fucking B.
Yeah, you don't. You really don't. I mean, you can hold both points. I mean,
Both points are very easily
I
defendable in
I
this
feel
map.
like they're both kind of played the same.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't
Oh.
say A is. I think you get like you're more likely to get that chandelier spawn on the B point. Or you're more likely. You're less likely to get that chandelier spawn on the B point that spawns you very far away. I've seen a lot of times where even if a team has like control, hell, even if a team has a person in sauna, a person like people will spawn there. They're almost like random to a degree. I know JP has a tweet. If you want to pull up, I know me and I think Slasher are
Yeah.
in the agreeance that the spawns are random to a degree. There's been times where you can block a spawn and they're not blocked. They will spawn right on top of you. They will spawn right behind the hill or the point.
That's probably the spawns you're talking about, by the way, too, Sam.
Yeah.
Do what?
The spawns your teammates are talking about. That's probably them right there.
Yeah.
But
Well,
basically,
let's take a look at it, Chris. Let's take a look. I got
like
the
I was
tweet up
saying-
right here.
Yeah, A is really hard to hold because you just get a deeper spawn more often than not.
Well, the thing about like regardless of the spawn thing, it's just like how teams play it. No team is just gonna go into kitchen to like try to cap A points. So like even if the spawns are weird, like A is like pretty easy to hold as long as you have some grasp of like them going around.
So
and,
hold on,
like,
if you
giving
want to
free
pause
kills.
it, we can describe what's going on. If you want to pause it, Tom, at the beginning. So you'll see number 6 die, right? And then he will immediately spawn. So number 6 will immediately spawn in kitchen, regardless if a player is, kind of pushed up. And then number 5 dies, and then you'll see where number 5 spawns. Go again.
Yep, I'm going to number 5 spawns bedroom, I believe. Yep, there he goes.
Spawns bedroom,
From the deep
and
bedroom,
then
deep balk, and number 8
second
spawns
later,
kitchen.
Number 8 spawns kitchen, regardless when the situation is basically identical. There's no reading that, and as a player, even on the offensive end, it's just more frustrating when you're like, oh, we're gonna spawn close, and then you spawn far. I don't know why the spawns are like that. I wish I could tell you.
Like I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not great on most maps, but I feel like on this map, it's like the most blatant example of like, what the fuck am I watching?
Nah, it's like that on a silo too.
It's like that on a
Silo, yeah.
silo,
is
yeah.
bad. It is bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
I've been
rough
on top of the
silo as
cliff.
well.
they'll
I think it's
spawn-
just control in general, bro. Control just
Yeah.
has wicked spawns.
It's so fucked, dude. And
There's a
Wait,
random variable.
hold on,
I used-
Chris, sorry to Chris, really fast.
Go ahead.
Austin, have you gotten the top radio spawn on a silo yet?
What is radio?
Like the
on
like the
top of the
outer edge,
hill.
like the statue, like the fucking
Top antenna?
Yeah. You literally spawn
Whoa.
on defense halfway up the mountain. To
No,
get up
I don't
there.
think I've gotten that actually.
Yeah, bro. I spawned
Yeah,
there
I've never
yesterday.
seen
I,
that.
like
I've
literally
never seen
halfway
that.
up to top satellite.
The
I
fuck?
spawned there.
That's a power position too. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know. I literally spawned on it. Like, I got A.
Wait,
That's
it was when
fucking
it was
crazy.
up still.
Yeah.
I used to think that there was like squad spawns in control because like usually in control it's like you can block a spawn point, but I was thinking like if you have a player over in a direction, like you're more likely to spawn there regardless of if you know the enemy team is quote unquote blocking it because of the squad spawns. But now that I've like played it or watched it played more, it seems random. Like it honestly does, and I can't pinpoint why.
To me, it seems normal spawns with squad spawns with a random variable, like all a mixture of everything. I'm not kidding. I've watched enough and I've played
Shit,
enough.
this guy's a robotics engineering degree.
What you're saying is there's RNG, bro.
Yes,
It's just-
I'm
it's
a
just pure
firm believer
RNG.
in control spawns are
lose that, bro.
RNG to an extent.
Yeah.
Because there's literal times where I've been in the exact same scenario twice and it's been a different like outcome, and I'm just so confused.
I
So
mean, it was the same in fucking Boston series. So we'll get there, but
in my head, I preach
it
be
going.
ready for anything in control because anything can happen.
Then we get into the map a little bit. This is where LA Thieves were able to push in overtime and just hold on to the 8 point again. So it was Optic who struggled again to get this 8 point. And it starts with Kenny. Big plays, just pushing out to Kitchen. I love seeing Kenny run around with a Vaznev. I feel like it fits him. Just seeing the two subs out again between Envoy and Kenny, just kind of working off each other, picking up these trades. They did a really good job. Just playing their life, changing up their corners, and just being a nuisance. Don't overchow, right? Just like hold your lanes, hold your corners. We see so many times people are pushed up into good positions and they just go fucking rogue. And they die and they fucking cost. And then we get into the overtime round. Sam, this is all you, bro.
Yeah, I had to do something. I'm double negative again. I had to fucking contribute somewhere.
You went fucking crazy here. And just to kind of show you kind of where it all kind of happened, you just fucking pieced him up here, Sam. Sam,
Piece out of me.
he's gonna get aggressive. You take a long route. You go all the way around the left. You end up getting behind him. You win a big 2-piece. You jump over here. You get a big 3-piece on a dashy. Granted, you go down, but that's going to open it up for your teammates. A big 3-piece, and that allows LA Thieves to get pushed up on a map and kind of hold some map control here. And just they don't let Optic just get out of these desk area. You don't want to get Optic pushed to bedroom. You don't want them sneaking or lurking. You want to get on this point as much as possible. You can see Octane in the kill feed again. Another big 2-piece coming through front. The stacks are in, and the Los Angeles Thieves, they punish Optic Texas and put them away as they take the control 2-1. Pat, what are your thoughts on the control?
Well, I was looking at that spawn situation. I was trying to figure it out. Do you guys play with kill cam on at all?
No.
You have it off, so there's no way to avoid it. The only thing I can think of when I was looking at that exact example is that JP listed when number 6 spawned. No teammate had died within that radius, and then number 5 died right away. And so I'm just kind of thinking about what I know about spawns. Like there could be something where it's like your allied death that could basically turn off like an area of the map so if your ally died within, let's say, 3 seconds, like it could just turn off spawns in that area. So that's the only thing I could think of when I looked at it as to what would be causing something like that. Why it would go from like player spawns here and your teammate died,
It's
turn
to
that area
quote-unquote
off,
prevent
spawn
like a
across the map.
It's to prevent like a
stop
spawn
tracking.
trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude,
that's what I'm looking at. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of why that would have happened that
that's
way.
a better guess than I got, but
Yeah.
that's unreadable. Legit unreadable mid-map.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my teammate just died there. I'm gonna go ahead and assume the spawn's gonna turn off for 5 seconds or something. Honestly, man, just another feature, another thing they changed about the game that nobody asked for. Speaking of which, why the fuck are kill cams not in respawn?
I don't even remember the reasoning.
I hate that shit in CDL Mosh Pit because people look sus sometimes, and I want to look at the
I
want to look at the
actually
fucking
don't
kill
remember
cam.
Because of the dots through walls and shit, the cheating. You can. Well,
It was
how
some,
you
it
can
was
see
some
everybody.
exploitable. It was some exploitable
Yeah.
thing.
Like I can call out your whole team if
Yeah,
I
but
watch
it's
tokens.
it's an S&D.
I don't know why it's
Listen.
not in respawn. There's some, but it's bug related or something.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just telling you why.
It could be.
No,
Speaking of not making sense, let's talk about this map 4 because I spent this morning like breaking down Embassy Hardpoint on Optic with like Ant and Jay for a couple hours, and like we were kind of mind blown what we saw. So I thought like, you know, they would have got a kind of a convo after that map they played last series of like we need to do a better job of just not getting in the blender. We talked about this map like P2, P3, P4. Like you cannot instantly just try to be in a break situation. You're just gonna get screwed. And look what happened in this map, bro.
Yeah, and then I want to get into the LA Thieves listening because I thought they sounded great. Their comms were on point. They were all super energetic. Everybody was adding to the comms. So let's tune in. We got an LA Thieves listening, and then we got an Optic Texas listening. But this was LA Thieves every day of the week. They made this map look easy. So let's tune in.
I have low door. P1. I tried to. Okay, I got him. Both sides, Ken. Orange. I'll play kill. Laundry weak. Nice. Last shot, Brandon. Nice. Go PD here. Go PD. This time, I'm just not gas. I'm getting really forget. Yo, D1 spawn behind him. P2 one shot. One's D1 spawn. Yo, slow the count.
Yo, who has sound on in TeamSpeak, by the way?
Yo, chill. We're in the middle of a listening, gentlemen. Please, let's relax.
All horrible sign. Oh, one shot. Two sign? Yeah, bro, hit twice. He's behind the dead. I'm sitting old two. He's like 100% we're two here. Two at old. All good. I'm playing out D1 with
Did he say all horrible?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said terrible or something like that. You know, Jiraza just fucking talking his shit. And then we go to the Optic Texas listening. Let's tune into them.
What's front laundry?
Yeah, it's front Are you? I'm playing for him. Go front back. Copy. Guys. He's plat.
He's on time. On time, then red.
I think one guy went orange.
I'm one shot.
On time, left side. Den. I'm one shot.
Deep left milk. One shot.
Guys on time, guys. Break that time. Orange.
I'm one shot.
Laundry right now. Go in first that point. Turn the hill. You went hill. Literally just went hill.
On time.
I have left. One's deep left, guys.
Break that time,
What's in new?
Yo, laundry.
Yo, rotate, guys. Rotate.
Yeah, left. One guy's right side.
Shot deep left. Literally bullet. He's decided one. Literally bullet. We're bullet.
I'm wrapping
Kind of death on you, I think. Like close hill.
460 is right back in it, bro. We're good.
On you, that Xbox. That's not on. Last guy's on you.
I don't see him. Stay down time. I got you.
Damn, you got shotgun.
Xbox on you. Xbox, sir.
Yeah, subs are blessed.
They streaks. Are you?
Laundry? I don't know. I don't know. He's on. Go laundry, I think.
Flip back.
One shot.
Yo, on time, Dan. On time, Dan.
Deep left.
Just 40, bro.
I gotta push out. I push
I
out.
got time.
I don't see no back, bro. Where are they spawning, guys?
Could be spawning planners.
Planners, maybe. Yeah, I push that mill.
Ivory hallways.
I'm middle.
And that's going to do it for the Optic Texas. And they sounded good. They were trying to catch fire and bring it back. I just felt like LA Thieves had such a big lead. But overall, man, I thought the series was great. I thought we had a lot of nail-biter maps. Chris, I know you thought maybe it could have gone either way. Maybe Optic had some trolls or some mistakes. But this fourth map, LA Thieves was just able to put the nail on the coffin. Any final thoughts on the series, gentlemen? We'll start with you, Chris. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think just Optic have got to clean up their hard point, man. They just don't know how to rotate sometimes. I think they're playing scrap too heavy. I was preaching about it, yesterday, where I think they overcommit to scrap time. If you're going to send people to scrap, you kind of want to send maybe 1-2 people, but you got to send the other people to new. Otherwise, you're essentially full committing, and they got to figure out their priorities and hard point and what they want to do on these hill transitions, because right now what they're doing is it's just not working. Period.
Ben, what do you think? I feel like you kind of had the same critique. Just felt like their rotations were off. You were saying that the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I just said it about 3 minutes ago. It's like I watched them play NBC Hardpoint earlier this weekend. And
Shots from Kenny.
Well, they're just not rotating. They're not playing out of the game. And then we watched this map, and like this shit was basically over by P5. So like, they got to clean it up, because we know how situational respawn gets at this level. And so if you can get ahead in one of these game modes, it's a big key. And they got some work to do with not a lot of practice time for Major One.
Where on the opposite side, it seemed like Thieves were just very disciplined. It seemed like they had a plan going into the map, and they stuck to the plan. So it looked pretty easy for them. Pat, what do you think? Before we head into the last and final series of the day, what did you think about the Optic LA Thieves series as a whole?
I just think Thieves look good. Continue to look good. This is a good series overall. But yeah, I mean, I think Thieves we were talking about teams to come out and show up at the event. I think Thieves could be. I think they're in my top 3 right now with Ultra. That third team is TBD. Yeah, but Sam, you got to play a little better. I will be honest with you.
Sure.
Especially with the Scar mid, I'm expecting you to come out and play.
Not to get too deep, but it's like the same thing as last year. Like trying to figure out how to learn the game as well. Like. Not like IGL, like fucking leadership, fucking run everything, but like trying to manage the two is like while simultaneously learning the game and not going double negative. It's a lot.
Sam, any final thoughts, Sam, after a big win today? Felt like you guys look pretty comfortable. You guys are feeling confident?
It's definitely a great win going to a LAN event for sure. It's just like showing some level of ice right there is always good. It's like having series like that. I'd almost rather do that than have like just fucking shit on 3-0 in 5 minutes, because like being able to have your back against the wall and come back from a situation like that it always feels good.
Yeah, and then congratulations to the LA Thieves. They're looking good. Coming off a big year as well, being the world champs, right? They want to make a statement going into the first event. So I'm excited to go into Raleigh and see both of these teams go head to head. We had two of the best teams go at it today, so it was a good series
we gotta
to
talk
watch.
about the tiebreaker, bro. We got a tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, we were gonna talk about it after this series, because I think we're gonna take a look at the bracket.
Okay.
We'll take a look at the bracket, and we'll talk about the tiebreaker and kind of where everybody slots in, because I gotta look at it as well. I'm not sure how all of this is gonna play out, so I have to go back and look. But we'll get into the next one real quick. We got Hotel Hardpoint, LSCLO SD, Hotel Control, Hydro Hardpoint, Fortress, Search and Destroy. We have the Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against the Boston Breach. I'll get us into the map number one, because this was the one map that LAG did lose, and they got piss slammed in this one. But they ended up really turning it around as the day went on. Pat, I know you had a lot of comments to say about this Los Angeles Guerrillas roster, but they find themselves 2-2 and maybe getting a little better, Pat. They're working on their game.
Yeah, no, Tom, I don't feel that they got better. I think they came out and got absolutely mollywopped in this first map. And then Breach just full collapsed. I mean, I don't want to be a complete, negative Nancy here and be like, there was still a win. Don't get me wrong, but I think Breach is a clear cut better team than this LAG team. I just don't feel like they played it today. And yeah, even going into LAN, I just don't have any confidence in this LAG roster to put together wins, especially on LAN, given how bad I think they are in respawn. I think they're a solid S&D team. We've always known that. That's what that trio is. They grind wagers. They're kind of like an S&D trio in a sense. And I just don't think, when it gets to LAN, that this team is going to be able to perform in the respawns. I could be wrong, but this to me was a Boston Breach just collapse after map one.
I had a similar concern about Boston. Like, the big thing last year was like, they were decent online LAN against mid-pack teams. With the mid, they played a tough match on LAN or a bigger team. They crumbled, and this is a huge opportunity for them to lock in a top seed and kind of be, sort of maybe ahead of a lot of the contenders in the CDL. And they kind of didn't meet the moment. And they've also had a really tough weekend because they lost to New York earlier this weekend. So they've gone 0-2 now after starting up 2-0. So I'm not saying that I think Boston's going to go to LAN and crumble, but I would say we thought Boston were having a good start and might be that number one or number two team going into next weekend. I don't know if that narrative still exists now.
But I think Boston was getting a lot of their good maps in their first series. Like they were playing a lot of Fortress S&D, which would have been the last map in this series had they gone to that point. And I think that was allowing them to win these series pretty convincingly because of that search and destroy. But after witnessing the LSCLO that they played against this team, and then the Embassy that they played against, I forget who was it that they played the Embassy on. I think it was the last match they had, whoever else they played this week.
Hardpoint?
No, it was Embassy Search where Reese was sniping. I can't remember who they played. Yeah, I think you're starting to kind of see that this team isn't the best at S&D, and I think that they're just really good at Fortress. So I think if they clean up their S&D and continue to play Hardpoint the way that they have been in the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, I think this team's going to be pretty good. I think they just need to adjust to the meta. I know some people in chat were calling them M4 merchants, but I think they just have to.
What the fuck?
I mean, that's what people in the chat were calling them.
There's spelling methods with
M4
too, bro. Like, come on, this ain't right.
But hey, listen. Well, let me finish. I just want to basically say that I think you're going to have to see Reese and Nero kind of get that cohesion and pull out the Vaznevs and stuff like that. That way they can adjust to the meta, because you're seeing a lot of the teams that are adjusting to the meta, pulling out 2 more Vaznevs, and I'm going to take the time to say that Austin was right here. I never disagreed with him, so I don't know where he's getting this from, but the meta did change. A lot of people thought it was going to be, pretty similar, but it definitely changed, and you're starting to see these Vaznev players have a lot more effect. And I think this is where you need Nero to step up. I think Nero is a pretty inconsistent player, but he has a very high ceiling, and he's going to have to start performing better if they want to, keep up their performances from the first week of the league.
Mm-hmm. I push back on the meta thing for Boston. The only respawn this weekend in which maybe wasn't entirely close was I'm actually maybe the first map against New York you can argue, but every other respawn they played, at least this weekend, was like pretty close. And you could argue that they should have won all 3 respawns in this series. You know, the control hardpoint we'll get to in a minute, and that last map which we'll watch. So I don't think it's a meta problem with them. I think it's just
but them
executing your system and just the mental side.
Wait, but no offense to LAG, but them like should have winning the fucking hard point versus LAG or even the control. It shouldn't be like an accomplishment. Like
I know,
like on paper they should be beating them. Yeah, so them having a close match, let alone losing, is not like a positive thing, Ben, where you can like, I'm not worried about them. No, these guys have to clearly adapt. I think they have a very strong like a base in terms of how to play, but they just need to polish, they need to polish their gameplay. They need to get used to this meta and start executing it.
I agree. I've just seen this stupid ass M4 method spam in chat, and I just think that's.
They're also trolling. I feel like a lot of them are just trolling.
It's all merchant.
It's a troll.
Zim's still been playing well. First off, he was wrong about the meta not changing, but that's beside the point.
Yeah,
but it also changes S&D. Like subs are more useful in S&D now too. Like, bro, you could legit run 4 M4s every round of S&D and still be fine. Like, you can go into the A bomb site in a silo with the M4 and be fine. You're not doing that with a Scar.
Also, Reese, for the love of God, put that shit away.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about it. I was waiting for you guys to finish, but just to talk about the first map, in my opinion, I just felt like LAG couldn't hold a rotation. I mean, bro, I had a Boston break here in my notes, 5 hills in a row. Like, they legit couldn't hold a hard point. So maybe they're gonna have to go back to that one. Maybe something was wrong with their setups. And then we get into the S&D. I agree, Chris. We get into a LS Silo S&D. Reese, I like him. I think he's a great player. I think he can hit snipes I think he can hit good shots with a snipe. Obviously today he wasn't connecting, but I think he's a talented player who could do it. But he wasn't hitting them today, and I think that was a huge problem. I think once you're not hitting shots, he ended up going 0-7 in this map. You just got to put it away, man. You could do a lot more with a regular gun. You can get into the mix. You can help your team out a little bit more. If you're not getting picks, it might be tough. But what do you think? I mean, Chris, you said it. Yeah, I'll let you kick it off.
Sorry, just my dogs are barking, so you might hear them in the background.
No,
but basically what I wanted to say was he just needs to put it away. And although I think he can be a good sniper, the problem is he's one of their better S&D players, in my opinion, in terms of just like playmaking ability. So I want to see him leading the charge, not sitting back and sniping. Not to say that he can't do it. I just don't think it fits him properly.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Chris, you got that dog in you.
Yeah, the dog's going nuts. The dog's going fucking crazy. I want to gas up LAG too, though. I feel like there's been a lot of negative being said, but they are 2-2, and I think they do have talent that they could put together and make work. I think they just need to clean up some things, and I feel like today they showed that they can keep up. I mean, Boston had a really good record going into it. I probably wouldn't put LAG at the top of the league, but I mean, I'm just not writing them off just yet. I want to see what else they could do.
Seattle.
Yeah.
That was a weird series. There was like a massive delay before.
It was a game 5 comeback. Yeah,
they took 2 S&Ds against Seattle.
But that's the thing.
Goose egg right now in Surge.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. I mean, like, I just have no faith in this team in respawn. That's the problem with I guess my opinion, Tom, is like I just don't think they're gonna get better at respawn. I don't think they're good at respawn. I don't think they're gonna get better at respawn.
I don't know. You don't think these guys have the talent to get better at respawn? I mean, Hook and Neptune are very talented players. I feel like they could work really well off one another.
Right? Like, not too much talent. Like, if this was Vanguard, sure, absolutely. But like, think about why Scump has said like that he's gotten so much, or feels like he's been so much better in this game, because it's just a different style. It's like way more L triggering.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Pat. I
just don't
agree.
think players like Neptune and Kyler play that style. They're very just hyper aggressive, like Twitch shooters.
You don't think they can slow it down, Pat, and adapt to just the game over time? Just get used to it?
Everyone can, but whether you're like comfortable or that like you excel in that is another story. I mean, I've seen plenty of players like that who are hyper aggressive, just good in one title and not as good in the next.
Are you saying this is a blow
it's kind of like it's kind of like the World War II to BO4,
well, we've been
right?
said that. We've been said that.
But it's the same thing like World War II to BO4. It was just opposite. Like players that are really good in World War II maybe didn't excel as much in BO4 just because the style changed.
My thing is, I'm in agreement with Pat. I don't see a world where I'm just like, oh, LAG want to respawn, I'm going to be like, wow, LAG want to respawn like the entire season. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is now. And I don't really see that changing much. Granted, I do think they are talented players in their own right. I just don't think they mesh, because I was talking about this with my stream. I think all these players have very similar issues as individuals, right? They are all talented, sure, but like their communication, I don't think that any of these guys have a history of having really good communication or really good like teamwork. I think that they all thrive individually, but the skills that it takes to be a successful team, I don't think they have at a consistent level.
And if red dots get added back, we might have reevaluate. But red dots definitely hurts.
Exactly. And when a whole bunch of players, that all have the same issue team together, those issues get basically multiplied because every single player on the team has them. And I think that's what these guys are going to struggle with in Respawn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying LEG's at the top of my list right now in the league by any means. I'm not saying, but when it comes to the mid-pack teams, I feel like they're keeping up. I just feel like, in order to at least for me to say blow it up, I want to see a little bit more before I start saying blow it up.
I got Alec on my fantasy team. Like, I got faith in Alec to do his thing. He's on my fantasy lineup.
Yeah, and he did his thing this series.
I know the AR's been frying recently. I'm excited to see where my fantasy team ended up.
You can see how LAG... You can see how LAG just kind of pushed right through this map. They were just winning round after round, and honestly, it was a really good play from Hook. I love the way he was getting first bloods, finessing around the map. You saw in the 1-3 round, he was able to find an ace on the round and clutch the 1v1 versus Tony. So just really good plays coming out of Hook this map. Ben, you know Hook. You know the type of play style he plays. This guy can make plays, man. And sometimes I feel like people forget. Sometimes I feel like people forget Hook and what he could do.
I mean, I think it's just a consistency thing with Kyler. I don't think it's a ceiling problem. It's just we just haven't seen it like some other players day in, day out. So
yeah, I feel like I feel like that's a big problem for a lot of hyper aggressive players. Is like finding a consistency and finding a balance. And that's something Hook's gonna have to deal with. But LAG, they go on and win the map. You see the 0-7 from Reese. It was just early on with the snipe, right? He just couldn't find kills. And I felt like LAG had all the momentum going forward. And Nero only with a bready as well, breadstick. On the other side, 9-2 from Hook. Like I said, he was all over the map. Finding those angles, finding those lanes, and just hitting him out with the Vaznev, making plays. Any final thoughts on this search and destroy from the Los Angeles Guerrillas? Haggy, I know you were talking a little bit about Boston and kind of what you thought about them. But this LAG team, I mean, you gave your thoughts on LAG, but do you not see them at all, Haggy, getting any better at respawn at all? Like, you agree with Pat on that? That you think just their play style and stuff?
I mean, they might improve mildly, but like, do I think this team is going to be a threat in Respawn this year? Probably not. I think this is going to be a team where they have that upset potential because they have that ceiling in search and destroy, and control in this game is, it's a pretty simplified game mode. One mistake and even the best teams can fall with the stack on the point. I think this team has upset potential, but in terms of the hard point, where you need to have really good communication, awareness, teamwork, a lot of the qualities, I feel like a couple of these players just like don't have like to the highest degree right now, and I don't think they're going to get much better.
I want to alter the bet, Ben.
Yeah.
Vegas and LAG. If they win the major, we shave your head.
No
what?
way.
That's not how this works. No,
let's add them in.
No bullshit.
That sounds
we made
good.
the bet yesterday. I will only amend
I was
the bet
just
if
Legion.
You,
let's add in LAG.
I will amend the bet if you join the bet and get your head shaved.
But the thing is, like, my hair is gonna be short. It's really not gonna be like a shave.
No, you're wiggling out of it.
There's nothing. There's got to be something in it for y'all. Y'all still doing $100? $100?
I'm getting all the downside. Pat tried to go 50-50 with me yesterday. He poked me on the side. He's like, "You want to split it 50-50?" I'm like,
no way, Pat. You trying to make fucking business deals on the side?
Honestly, I almost bet that we wouldn't see a B plant like until the
I was
map
just
was
asking
out.
Ben for a cash out. I was asking Ben for a cash out, Tom. I want to know if he wanted a cash out.
I told Dylan today I would give him 10 gifted. They're the first one to plan B, and then instantly Seth planted, so chalk that up.
Yeah, and then we get into the next one. We get into a hotel control, and this was interesting. We saw non-stop defensive wins today. This was a 5 offense win coming out of the LAG. They won 3 offenses. Boston won 2, so it was all offensive wins coming out of this map, which was interesting. It's weird how it can just flip like that from all defensive wins to all offensive wins. I wonder like why that's happening. Chris, you got any fucking analysis on that? On why you think that might be happening?
Probably just play styles. I think Boston, as good as these guys have been lately, I think both of these teams, they have this very reckless play style where I think on the defensive end of some holds, it can get them in trouble. And I think you saw that in this match when, these teams were kind of going rogue. They were not stacking point. They were kind of like going off like, and throwing their lives away on these defenses. So I think it's more so a play style thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, we get into the map a little bit. I thought Spart made some really good plays towards the end of this one. It's always good to see Spart popping off. He was just the one that got him out of bedroom to push this overtime. And listening to Alec in the interview as well, I think he was talking about how, they haven't really been winning offense, unless I misheard him. But he made it seem like they've been struggling on offense and scrims, but that was not the case here today. Spart jumps out, gets the blood. That buys some time for his team. They end up getting in there, and they work the stack. And just like that, Spart gets him out of bedroom. LAG, they're able to cap and go into an overtime. And this is where LAG was somehow able to clutch another offense. And just to kind of see how they do it. They get, defense. Let's go into the listening, actually, with Boston. They're on the offense here. They're trying to, win the map, obviously. Let's see how they sound here.
And that puts backstairs. Hold on, please. Who gets back broken hole, Alec? Our back broken hole? Come in the hole. Top it, I'm listening to Stun me. Broken hole, one shot, Alec. He's on the statue. Statue weak, Alec. Door on left. Big door on me. Okay. Yeah, so I'll try and go in there again. One shot, one top bed. Okay. Wine, weak out. He's in restaurant. One couch is one top bed. Okay. I spawned back flat. Kitchen. Like top bed. Top bed. I'm pretty sure. He's up. He's got a Nep still. Still bed somewhere. Yeah. You be bottom bed on me. Not bottom. I'll see him bottom middle. Spawning spot, guys. Did he be long? He could be long. Archer on my long. Backstep. Backstep. Yeah, he's okay. Got us. He's shooting one, guys. Long big door. Big door spot. Take your time. He's wondering. Yep. They're shaking. Up in mid here.
I think they trolled this.
They do.
Pitch mid.
On south spot.
Absolute spot.
We're coming.
Let's get spot. They're not out.
He's absolutely.
No. You can get out. I need a shot. He's
I got mid. You can fly. I got mid.
And they end up losing this in the listening end, so I'm gonna mute it there. But Chris, they end up trolling this setup. You see, they got the full stack. They got a guy watching mid map. I mean, this is probably a round that Boston needs to put away. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching it. I just want to watch it. Like, I want to watch how it all does, happened.
Reese was going insane. Reese was going absolutely insane.
They got no trophied, so a couple of them got weak, and then they just pushed in. But honestly, I think they were just way too. They forgot about their left arch, the main arch, because I feel like that's probably one of the easiest arches to watch. You can basically watch it from on the point, on in a head glitch on the staircase, and they let them come out straight from there. You see all who died first. I think it was Awakening, and then they kind of just flooded it. I think if they would have put their focus on that first, they probably hold this. But also the no trophy cheese, they got really unlucky because they got pelted by every single fucking tactical. And that's tough. That's tough to watch.
Yeah, it's good tack usage too from the LAG because they get in there, and then after that, Boston, there's not really much they can do. They start taking some long routes. They start trying to find a way in here. So it wasn't 5 offensive wins. It was 4 offensive wins, and LAG were able to win on the defense. So I had that one written wrong. But as we go into the overtime, fantastic plays coming out of the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Way to clutch up there in the final second. They end up going up 2-1 in the series. 32 and 25 from Alec, man. We love to see that because we know how good Alec can be, man. When he's kicked up, playing his game. It's good to see Alec, putting up some numbers in the scoreboard department. Any final thoughts on map number 3 before we head into the last one, the last map of the day?
Yeah, it was a good play by Alec, but this is what I'm talking about, right? Boston trolled, LAG clutched up, but this is the story with LAG. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the point where they're like, oh yeah, LAG is going to play this map, they're going to win it, it's their map. It's more so wow, holy shit, LAG won that map. You see what I'm saying? I think that's going to be kind of the story with their team. I'm going to tip them for the W, but it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm just kind of gonna always be surprised when they get those W's.
Yeah, and then we head into the Hydro Hardpoint. It was Boston who found themselves with a big lead, but it was LAG in the second rotation of Hardpoints where they were able to chain the P3 and P4 together and just get a shitload of time and make this one close. And we could kind of see how this one kind of plays through at the very end of this game. This one got mixy here towards the end. You can see in this final P5, it was Neptune who's putting down some good shots, just trying to contest the time as much as possible while also trying to hold on to these P2 spawns. And this is kind of where the routes start to come in. But LAG do a really good job just picking him up and funneling Boston back. And you can see now the water route's coming in. You see Nero, right, with that, he's inching his way through. He ends up going all the way around, I believe. Yeah, he goes all the way through. So these are the routes we're talking about here. But you can see LAG, they do a good job counting players. I think that they knew that they were missing one. Spar also does a good job picking up Tony. So you can see all of Boston Breach trying to swim their way to breaking his hard point. But, yeah, it just wasn't enough here. As we scroll through, Boston, they finally get in towards the final seconds. But it's LAG with those P2 rotations. And they just do a really good job locking this down. It was Neptune who was pushed out, who was getting some kills in the water. He was dipping and diving. Really good plays out of Neptune here. Just stay alive, be a nuisance, and kind of push the Boston Breach back. And this is kind of where LAG was able to close out the series and win 3-1. Spart flipping off the camera. Maybe he's flipping off all the haters, everybody that's doubting these guys. I feel like LAG got some confidence going into Rowley. I think they got some confidence in them. We'll see if they're able to turn it around, man. Any final thoughts on the series as a whole? LAG, Boston, how do you guys think they're gonna do?
Dude, the middle fingers is so good.
I mean, bro, my final thought on like all this is, dude, is like there is not a team going into this event that I'm saying like that team is a clear #1 favorite. I think every team learned something about themselves the last 2 weeks, both positive and negative, and I think you could probably make a case for 6 to maybe 8 teams to have a legitimate shot to win this event.
Well, the thing that I'm looking at are the groups. Like, I'm
gonna pull them all up.
Both Boston and Gorillas got in. Boston, I think, stands the best. Maybe assuming that LAT don't get in, I feel like they stand a really good chance just to come out of their group with the #1 seed. LAG, I think their group's going to be a little bit tougher, but
yeah, let's take a look at the groups individual, and then we can.
Yeah, we could take a look at the groups here. So taking a look. No, I got them right here. I got them all, Ben. We're good. Looking at the first group, we got Los Angeles Gorillas and the New York Subliners. That's going to be the winners round 1. And then you have Minnesota Rokkr, who's gonna be playing the Challengers team. So whatever team comes out of the Challengers pool will be slotted in going up against the Minnesota Rokkr in Group A. What do you guys think about this group? What do you guys think about this one?
Rokkr smokes the Challenger team.
Whoa, so hold on. So
Subliners smoke Gorillas.
Before we break down the groups, let's talk about something, because we talked about this on the watch party too. The Challengers teams that are going through to these groups are playing on the Wednesday. So they're playing the day before, and they'll play at least 2 series, if not more, depending on what seed you are. So Minnesota Rokkr will be coming in with 0 actual land matches, and the team coming in will be like at least 2 or 3. So we might see some weird upsets or some close series with the top seed in the group. I just want like everybody to be prepared for that possibility that like one of these top seeds loses to an amateur team that's played on land like the day before.
Possible.
Pat, it seemed like you were gonna go through the bracket. Go ahead, give your prediction.
Yeah, I think Rokkr smokes the Challenger team. I think the Subliners smoke the Gorillas. I think the Gorillas beat the Challenger team. I think Rokkr beats the Subliners. I think Subliners beat the Gorillas again. Subliners and Rokkr advance.
I feel like you're saying what most people are thinking. I think if anybody's going to mix this group up, it's LAG that can make some noise and maybe get some upsets in there. But Ben, what do you think? Chris, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think it depends on the Challenger team. Like,
Yeah.
I could see LAG Academy, if they get seeded into this, making some noise here. Even the Elevate. I'm not going to sit here, by the way. I'm not going to sit there and
Is there any
say
chance they get the
my
fourth seed,
team,
though?
by the way. I mean, you never know. Just based on the way this works out, I think Rokkr Academy and LAG Academy are both pretty good teams. I'm not going to say my team once again, just because I don't want to put myself in that position, bad juju or anything. But I think both those teams are pretty good. I think the Elevate team is underrated. I think you're going to get to see, potential if those guys make it through. Gizmo and Harry were both on the London's Royal Ravens bench and on the starting roster last year. You got Vortex on that roster, who's had literally like the most success out of any challenger in Europe. And then you got Denza, who's basically like that guy's duo. I don't think, listen, I get it. The pro teams are obviously in a better position to win, but I wouldn't glaze over some of these challenger rosters yet, because some of these players, especially if they're the ones that qualify, they have pro level talent on them. Period.
Yep, I agree. But I think let's take the Challengers team out of it, because we don't know what Challengers team.
Yeah, we don't know who's going where.
Prediction's really tricky. If we got to just pick between the CDL teams, I think for this one, the New York Rokkr combo is probably what I'm going with, because don't see, even if LAG beats New York, I don't see them beating Minnesota. And if there's a New York LAG rematch, I feel like New York would take that.
I can see New York and Minnesota making it out. I mean, I think really highly in New York. I actually think they're a pretty good team. I think those guys, if they put it together, which they seemed like they did their last couple matches, we'll see what they do. We'll see how they do on land. Because land's a different story for sure, especially with a crowd and the white noise, and there's just a lot of different shit going on. They might get better. Who knows? We'll see in Raleigh. Let's go to the next group. Group B. Check this group out. We got Toronto Ultra against a Challengers team in the first round, and then we got Optic Texas versus Florida in the first round. So we got Optic Texas, Florida Mutineers, Toronto Ultra, and a Challengers team. That is a good group, man.
So for maybe people that are new to the CDL, haven't watched Comp COD, this you might say, oh, well, Optic Texas should beat Florida, but last season, for whatever reason, this Optic Texas team, every time they played Florida on land, the Florida boys would turn up. So we'll see if that carries over to this season, but I think, again, picking the CDL teams, I got Toronto and Optic going through.
I think Toronto and Optic's going to be the favorites to go through.
Said, I have Toronto and Optic.
With everything I just said, Toronto and Optic going to wipe the group. What do you think, Pat? Can you see Florida Mutineers making a statement in the group and getting out of this one?
No, I just think you just go ahead and put Toronto and Optic at the end. I think Toronto comes out winners, Optic and losers.
Granted, I think Florida can potentially make upsets. I just don't think they have that capability on land yet. Sure, they have a couple of veteran players on there, but I mean, Pat has some words about Havoc on land, and we'll see if those guys can continue to make some upsets.
On land.
Hey, Pat said it. Pat, I remember last year on when he was on Rokkr, he was like, "Oh yeah, that guy's play style on land don't work."
Yeah, well, what I said was the S&D plays that he makes on land have never worked in COD, in my opinion. Just like the random 50-50s, like don't see that being very successful on land, because teams usually just play a little bit more conservative, watch their lanes. They don't let gaps happen as often as they do online. So, and we saw that last year. Like proof is in the pudding.
But then we go to the next one. We got Group C. We got Atlanta FaZe against the Challengers team, and then we got Surge. It's either going to be LA Thieves or London, which I guess is where the bonus match comes in.
I think this is scary either way. This is a scary group regardless.
So apparently there's a bonus match. For those of you who don't know, LA Thieves and London had the exact same, I guess, map count, head-to-head, same everything. All the percentages were the same. So they're having to run a bonus match to see, who's going to be slotted into what group.
This is a group of death. You get like the second.
That's what I'm saying. If you win the bonus match, do you get put into this group?
No. It's just the loser.
Okay, so the loser gets put into this
winner
group.
The winner goes to the other one.
Yeah.
Bro, I miss the choice, bro. Just whoever wins decides which one they go into. That's the way to do it.
I mean, it's probably
that's the ultimate incentive to win.
It'd probably be the same either, regardless. I feel like.
Yeah, but that won't always be the case, right? In
I'm just saying.
That's what happened last.
Yeah. The winner should always be the decider of which group they get in.
Talking about, Ben.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was the best match of the CDL season.
You got to ring at the end of last season, so it all worked out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sam,
Definitely
what group do you want?
anyway.
What group do you want here?
The Boston one, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
and
scared of Slasher.
I guess we'll take a look at the final group. This
No
is the
letter
final
time.
group. It's Boston Breach,
Said someone
Vegas
had to say
Legion, and the Challengers team.
about to
I
say,
mean,
no words, let that.
I'll say it. I think the more favorable group, if you're LA Thieves or London, you probably want to go into this group, just because you have FaZe on this side and the Seattle Surge. I mean, I feel like Boston and Seattle, they kind of go hand in hand right now, but you do got FaZe sitting over here in Group C, so you probably want to go over towards the Vegas and Breach side if you're a CDL
All
player.
I'm saying with this Vegas and Breach thing, let's see what amateur team ends up in this group, because it could be like,
How do we know what amateur team is going where? Is there like more play to happen, or
I don't know. How does that work? Do you know
I don't know if
so
first seed
it
is
actually says it, Sam. It actually says so in Group
but they're
A,
in
fourth
two-
seed is
No, I'm
the
saying, like, do we
fourth
know what the
challenge.
seeds are?
yeah, but the challengers are in two different groups. So
no.
who's first, second, third, fourth seed?
I'm
That's what I'm
assuming
saying, like, what are the seeds?
I'm assuming Group A is the one with like the first and second seed probably, or is it going to go
It's
off
so
points?
arbitrary.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking. I don't know how this is about to.
Let's go on the website and see. I'm going on the website right now.
There's a play-in tournament. Nameless is in the chat talking about a play-in tournament, and we will be live from the floor by Wednesday, I believe. That's
Wait,
when the
it's not a
challengers start
play-in.
playing. So
It's not a play-in tournament. It's like groups. It's like the groups that you just put up there. There's groups that we're in with other challenger teams, and then two teams come out of Group A, two teams come out of Group B. But what he's trying to say is, which group is if like let's say 2 number ones from Group A or Group B, which one's actually number 1? Which one's number 2?
Is it coin flip? Like I don't quite.
I don't know how this is supposed to pan out.
Yeah, exactly.
Would it not go by pro points?
I mean,
I
it
don't
may
know.
be, but I feel
I don't
like-
know what it's going by.
But I feel like that creates a weird situation because, for example, my team is the number 1 seed in NA from the qualifier,
Yeah,
not from
different
pro
regions.
points, not from pro points. And if you weigh NA higher and we got out first, would we be number 1? Like, even though we're not in pro points, but we were the number 1 seed at the NA qualifiers. Like, how does it work? I don't know. I'm actually
I
kind of
imagine it would
curious.
go by pro points.
I know. We'll message people. We got contacts at CDL. We'll hit them up and get clarity for
Holy
you guys.
shit! Contacts at the
What's going on here.
CDL. Jesus.
Man, Ben J, this guy's a
Okay,
basis
gangster.
man. He's a
Ben J
basis man.
Nassim,
I don't
dude.
want whatever, bro.
Ben J.
Edit, Sam, I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you have more information, but how does the bonus match work? Do you play it
I have
on
not been
LAN?
told anything. Yeah, it's going to be on LAN. It's either Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh,
But I
okay.
think it's going to be Wednesday because every team's playing 2 matches on Thursday.
I can see it
or
being
some shit.
Wednesday.
We'll be able to
streamed?
cover
So-
it live
I'm-
from
I'm
the
guessing
floor
it would
on
be
the
I would
streamed.
assume
I
it's going
would
to be
hope
streamed.
it's streamed.
That would be dumb if it's not. But I don't know if it's
usually,
like
I don't know if they're
Listen,
ready
listen,
like
if
that
they're-
by
if they're
then.
not planning
That's
on
what I don't
streaming
know.
it, bro. Just
Yeah,
give
I
us
doubt
an
they do.
observer box. We're gonna be sitting there in the set with
Yeah,
throwing challenges.
we'll be
We'll
there
cover it.
full cam. I mean,
Yeah,
we're gonna
he
be
can hit
live.
Tommy can hit the Periscope.
The
dude. Like
Periscope,
the good
yeah.
old
We'll
days.
we'll see if we can make something
We
happen.
got a real
you
set.
know?
We don't gotta hit a fucking Periscope. I'm just saying, get us
That's
in
what
the
I'm
lobby,
saying.
bro, and we'll do the observing ourselves. Like,
Oh yeah, true. We could join the
Yeah.
lobby. We could do
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know like how it's gonna actually happen, but I think it's supposed to be Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'll see what the heck happens with that. But we're going to Raleigh, man. For Sam, also you guys fly out Tuesday, right? Everybody's flying out
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be dope, man. Huge shout out to Slasher and Octane for joining us on the flank today, man. It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you guys for
Appreciate it.
joining
An
us.
absolute pleasure.
Um,
GA commish.
The GA
Big
commissioner
name,
Appreciate
himself.
being here, guys. Thank you.
Yes, GA dictator actually.
GA dictator. I didn't mean to
he was
dis-
right.
He was in parentheses, right.
But
In brackets as always.
make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, anchor.fm/theflank to check out audio sets we're on. But we've been doing pretty good on the audio listens. So it's pretty cool to see that over there. So if you guys want to check that out, go check that out, and then go follow at the flank on Twitter. We can't go anywhere until Benji and Nassim syncs a pot. I almost forgot. Until the chat came in crazy. Ben, you better sync this pot because you have been off,
listen, I
bro.
was playing good
Off.
today on stream, so we'll see what happens. But
We
that
got
was
our
ours,
two
you guys.
guests today, Sam and Austin. What do you guys think is going on here? You think he's gonna sink the pot?
This is a Len, bro.
You think it's a Len? No,
No,
way.
I
Len.
think he's
Way.
bricked the past couple ones.
What
What do you
This is a
think,
Len,
Chris?
bro.
Chris, what do you think, Pat? What do you
This is a
think?
Len.
He
He's
sinks,
cold.
he
Wide
sinks
left.
it, bro. He sinks
Wide
it.
left.
He's
This is
ice.
cold, bro. This is a Len.
Ben is an ice cold motherfucker.
He's
Nah,
a
this is a
nice,
Len.
cold motherfucker. He's Benji the scene with the stinky fucking slippers on. Let's see what he can
Goddamn, them
do.
things are barking,
You
bro.
already
Jesus
know they
Christ.
barking. You know they barking loud. He shakes the right hand out, maybe getting a little loose.
All right,
He's
Crim
gonna
Six, what
put
are
it.
we
Goes
doing here?
wide right. It goes around the hole. And
I'm done.
Benji the scene
Jeez.
lets everybody down again.
Len.
We
Len.
had 8 million channel points on
freest
Ben
Len,
hitting
bro.
it and 3.7 million on him missing it.
Listen, chat. Tommy sold me the script beforehand. I knew it was a Len. Sorry,
And then he
guys.
sinks it. And then he sinks the
Nah, it
second
doesn't
pot.
count.
And it's
Bro,
too
no,
I
late.
actually just lost full. Did you just see what happened?
No,
I
we
saw
didn't see
it
it,
went
Ben. No
wide
one saw it.
right.
Did
It
you
went
see
wide
what-
right.
Did
Wait,
what happened?
did the
No,
golf go?
nobody
did the
saw
golf
it, Ben.
pull out an SAE?
Bro, it 180.
No way.
Boo, Ben SAE'd on his putt.
Literally
Boo.
No
360. Nah, that's actually bullshit, bro.
Well,
Ben, I say you just
Ben,
putt.
you had 8.1 million on you hitting that and
Whatever, bro.
3.7
Ben, I want you to
on you
know
missing.
that I said that you were gonna miss and you did. So I just wanted
Bro,
to let you know that I thought that.
bro, I lipped it, dude. Listen,
Damn
I was
new.
watching Tiger putt yesterday. He was lipping putts like it fucking happens,
Lipping?
bro.
Oh, you're such a
That's what they
golfer.
call it, lipping.
You're
He's a
such
golfer, but ladies
bro.
and gentlemen-
He's
Seeing
a
him miss
golfer.
every day now.
The next time you'll
Wait,
be
is Ben a
seeing
golfer? He be missing, bro. I don't know.
Ben's a golfer, bro. He's actually
Yo,
really
hit
good
the
at
mini
golf.
Ben. You need to hit that shit. I don't know.
No,
what you're
y'all
doing.
actually gotta respect Ben in his golf because he's actually pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, maybe not. He doesn't seem too confident.
Yeah, I'll tell you any amount on the golf course, bro. Name it.
Yeah,
Damn.
absolutely.
Sam-
Yeah, no, you would take my cash, absolutely.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to make that one
Okay, that shit.
happen. But hey guys, next time you're seeing the flank, it's gonna be live on the floor at Rally. Shout out to the CDL once again, man. Shout out to the COD League, Esports Engine, everybody over at Activision. They've been super hands-on. They've helped us a lot, and they've been trying really hard to get us into the venue. So to make it happen for this one, it's gonna be fucking sick, man. I'm excited. I think we'll be live Wednesday. We'll probably do some challenges coverage. And you know, we'll be live obviously on the floor, just fucking kicking the shit. If anybody wants to join, I'm sure people will be walking through the venue. If anybody wants to hop on a couch or just jump into the live stream, I'm sure we can make that happen. It will be a good time, man. So I'll see you guys next week. I'm excited to get there. And as always, take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy.